from the Kiss 92.5 studios in Toronto.
Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen,
This is Roz and Mocha.
it's Roz Mocha. What's going on?
Hey guys, this is Bruno Mars.
This is Selena Gomez.
Chainsmokers.
Lady Gaga.
Calvin Harris.
Celestia Cara.
This is Ed Sheeran.
You're listening to my boys Roz and Mocha.
Roz and Mocha.
My boys Roz and Mocha.
The Roz and Mocha Show.
Between Roz and Mocha, who is your favorite?
Roz. Mocha. I think Mocha. You guys are so funny, man.
Congratulations, Lisa! Wow! You just won $1,000.
That is amazing. Y'all just made my entire morning. Keep it up.
You guys are awesome, man.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show.
Podcast powered by Air Transat.
Did you see this new saying called CAT-chelors?
Sorry, what?
CAT-chelors.
It's a new what?
CAT-chelors.
CAT-chelors?
Yes.
No.
It's that single men who get cats instead of a girlfriend.
Hold on. What?
It's so stupid because guys have always had cats, but because now we live in, everything has to be packaged for social media and everything has to have a name for it. And again, I'm going to go back to what I always say, which is we're living in a terrible time when the sort of voice of popular culture are the ones who are in charge of social media. And nothing existed in their minds before social media started. Nothing existed before social media started. And it drives me nuts. Guys have had cats forever, but now it's a new thing all of a sudden.
Dude, I had 2 cats when I was single.
Thank you. So they say that a new study found that more single guys are getting cats because they feel like it takes the pressure off them to find a partner.
Oh, God.
First of all,
Why can't dudes just like cats?
okay, right? 1 in 6 CAT-chelors, they say, claim that it has helped them land more dates.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, okay.
All right, stud.
All those times that your cat helps you with dates.
Think your cat cares?
1 in 5 single men overall think that owning a cat would have a positive effect on their romantic life.
Yeah, but I have to agree with this a little bit because if you have a cat or even, let's just say, a dog, it shows responsibility and it shows commitment. So, going on a date or on dating apps or whatever, people would like that.
Right. And more, you landed Matthew when you had cats.
Yeah.
And what happened?
He told me to get rid of them.
Thank you.
You have no say.
They say 50% of cat-owning single men said that their cat helps them keep calm. I will agree with that.
Yeah.
I had Coco, or the dumb baby cat that we have. I shouldn't call her dumb. She was like a runt and she had no mama, so her place in this world is a little distracted. She's a little stunted.
Sure.
And she nurses on anything that feels comforting to her, right? Like, so if I have a blanket on me, she'll just sit on my lap and just nurse the blanket, right?
Yeah.
So she's just like, she's adorable. But last night, I was kind of agitated and whatever else. And then Coco climbed on me and I sort of lied down with her and then I sort of held her like you would hold like a baby, like in your arm on the couch. And she started nursing. And I decided to sleep on the couch last night because I didn't want to get up and go to bed because I didn't want to disrupt the cat.
Oh, that's super sweet.
Yeah.
Super sweet.
Yeah, because I love her so much. And then I woke up at 3 with 3 cats on me.
See?
And I was like, I'm so hot. Like, oh my God. I'm so hot.
But you see, if you were single, that would be hot.
That would be hot?
Like, ladies would clamor
But
at the
here's my
opportunity.
thing, though. But here's my thing with this, with CAT-chelors and using a cat to find. I don't want somebody to find the fact that I own cats hot because I think that that's weird.
Yeah.
I don't want you to find my relationship with my cat a turn on.
No.
You shouldn't. It shouldn't
your
be that way.
personality or your hair.
Yeah.
Or your chest.
Yes. My feet. I would even go feet.
Your feet.
Not
Oh my God.
chest. Let's leave chest for last. I'm not very proud of my chest. I don't have a very good chest.
All right.
Okay. My nips are starting to stick out a little bit too much in t-shirts. It's not good.
Yeah.
But my feet, my jeans,
Hot.
My relationship with my cat shouldn't be hot.
Here we go.
The Roz and Mocha Show.
Podcast.
Before we continue, I would love to read to you some more reviews that we've been getting the past couple of days on Apple Podcasts.
Love it.
And everyone's continuing to leave 5 stars. We love it and we appreciate it. And we're going to continue to read your reviews. So a couple of podcast episodes ago, we read a review from somebody who went by the name of Smooth Cool Dude number 2. Because, of course, you are the original Smooth Cool Dude, Roz.
Stop it.
And then another one we read was from Smooth Cool Dude number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Today, we're going to start with simply Smooth Cool Guy Roz. 5 stars.
Trolls, man.
I just want to say how amazing and wonderful this podcast is. I have an 8-hour workday riding a tractor all day, and I will listen to 2, maybe 3 podcasts a day, and I love them so much. Keep up the great comedy, guys. You always put a smile on my face. P.S. I love the new episodes on Mondays as well. Now I don't have to wait until next Friday to hear a new podcast. Bobby Down the Legend 23 writes, amazing podcast. This podcast is amazing and funny. 5 stars. It is a must listen if you like podcasts. MGW writes, I love this podcast. I've been marathoning this podcast for the last few weeks, and I don't know what I'll do when I catch up. They're so funny, and so sorry, Mocha, but Roz is definitely my favorite. Ashad Cruz writes, warning, don't listen to this podcast... ... when you're at the gym. I was listening to episode number 11, the original Roz and Mocha Games episode, and I was laughing so hard I almost fell off the treadmill. This show needs safety hazards for having a good laugh. Just kidding. This podcast gives me life. Daniela writes, I'm obsessed. Also leaves 5 stars. I love this podcast so much. Can I just say it's so hard to ride the subway by myself listening to you guys and to not laugh, but it's totally fine because you guys bring my mood up so much every single time, which is probably why I binge listen to the podcast. Also, so happy I finally get to listen to you guys again. I look forward to Friday mornings because of the podcast. Keep it up, guys. It's amazing. And Roz, you're a smooth, cool dude.
Shut up. People are such trolls, man.
So if you would like to leave a review on Apple Podcasts, we're going to try to start reading as many as we can and share the podcast with all your friends. And again, thank you for all the 5-star ratings. This is incredible.
It's amazing. Oh, they're shooting a movie on my street.
Yeah.
And listen, I'm all for it, right? I'm all for it.
They ask you to be in it?
No.
Oh.
I would feel much differently if they did.
Yeah, because then that sentence would have been like, guys, they're shooting a movie on my street. I'm so excited.
I'm like, you obviously don't know how to handle me when I'm in a mood, right? just offer me a part, and I'll leave you alone. But here's my thing. I understand you got to shut down streets. I get it, but my street has been shut down for a week now, and they haven't shot a damn thing.
So why have it shut down?
And my street is a street parking street in the city. So they've shut it down now for a week, and they have not shot a damn thing. Nothing.
So who do you talk to about this?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Like, do you walk around the street and see if there's like any film crew? Is there like a trailer down there?
No, because then I got to do my hair and makeup and all this other stuff in case I get scouted. You know what I mean? It's too much pressure.
Just in case, like, if the director's there, it's like,
I know.
Excuse me, sir.
It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. For me to go down and talk to somebody.
Have you ever thought of acting?
No. For me to go down and talk to somebody associated with a Hollywood movie, I have to be like ready to go. You know what I mean? Yeah, you always have to be ready to go. When opportunity knocks, you better be ready. And so I can't go down there in flip-flops, right? Like, it's a whole thing. So I don't know what's going on my street for fear that I may get cast in a Hollywood movie.
Thanks.
Here we go.
The Roz and Mocha Show.
Podcast.
Hi, it's Roz and Mocha. Who's this?
It's Maury.
Okay.
Hi, Maury.
Hi, David Maury.
I have a request. I'm wondering if there's any way Mocha can just sort of massage my right side neck.
No.
Your right thigh neck?
I hurt myself really bad, and
you know what's really
I need
weird?
a little...
Can I tell you what's really weird, Maury? When you're on the phone and you stare at me in the eye, because I can see you in your office right now, because there's just a window between us.
Wait, why are you
crouched down? Why are you crouched down on the floor?
Because I figured if I phoned in and asked, you wouldn't be able to say no.
It's easier to say no. Want to know how easy it is to say no?
Ask me the question again.
Okay, Mocha, I'm wondering if...
He's still down there.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hey, did you see this video of this bird that cries like a baby?
What?
Okay, so...
A bird?
Okay, so it's a parrot, right?
Yeah. Do you have it?
What's that? Oh, yeah, I can play it for you here. So there's a parrot. The parrot's name is Nico.
Okay.
And I guess he's one of these like exotic birds that can mimic sounds perfectly, which to me in itself is a real freaky thing.
Yeah.
When birds can do that. And its owner, whenever he has to like do something with the bird then gets pissy about it and starts crying like a baby. So people think that this guy has like a crying baby with him.
Oh my God.
So let me play you this. Keep in mind what you're listening to is not actually a crying baby. It is 100% a bird. Listen to this.
Okay, this is Nico.
Oh my God.
A temper tantrum, getting ready for a show. And now she just said, why are you crying? Nico, are you done? This is what I go through every day.
Oh my God.
Think I'm a crying baby up here. I will show you. It's really just Nico. Nico.
Oh my God.
A baby. Yes, you are. Now people are coming in because you were crying. Okay, let's go impress these kids, okay?
What in the world?
So I guess the bird does shows, and when the bird has to do a show and the bird, I guess, doesn't want to do a show, or maybe the bird doesn't even know it doesn't want to do a show, it just starts acting pissy and then starts crying like a baby. You want me to play it again for you?
Yes.
Here, okay, ready? Listen to this.
Okay, this is Nico having a temper tantrum, getting ready for a show, and now she just said, why are you crying? Nico, are you done? This is what I go through every day, and people think I have a crying baby up here. I will show you. It's really just Nico. Nico, you are such a baby. Yes, you are. Now people are coming in because you were crying.
Oh my God. Dude, that is crazy.
Isn't that so wild? Like,
it's like when you hear
freaky,
goats yelling like men. Yes. Like human beings, right?
I would say the bird baby's more impressive than goats.
Or what about, how about bird baby versus the no-no cat?
Was that the cat that didn't want a bath?
Yeah.
Is that what that was? Oh, poor dude.
Okay, or bird baby versus the dog that says "I love you."
Oh,
Mishka, I love you. Mishka, I love you.
I love you.
Good girl.
Stupid ass animals.
Here we go.
The Roz and Mocha Show
Podcast.
I want to talk about Transat's luxury collection real quick. They offer 40 or so hotels in 10 sun destinations. So Transat's customers, that's you'll enjoy exclusive benefits such as, and this is a big deal to a lot of people, free access to VIP airport lounges, option plus upgrades on Air Transat, and private round trip transfers between the airport and the hotel. So they take care of all of that for you, so you don't have to sit there and do the planning yourself.
yeah. There's also a ton of other benefits, like a free Wi-Fi in the room, unlimited gourmet a la carte dining, 24-hour room service. You got them robes, you got them slippers. 24-hour room service for free when you're at an all-inclusive is the greatest thing in the world, because we know what people play. We know what people pay for room service. There was that story earlier this week. Iggy Azalea in Las Vegas paid $54 for a grilled cheese sandwich, room service in Las Vegas. Room service is free. 24 hours a day. It's incredible.
Iggy Azalea could travel with Transat, go into these hotels, and order like 10 grilled cheese and not get charged for it.
Thank you.
Beautiful resorts, all of them. So you have to check them out. Go to transat.com and you can book your next luxury vacation right now.
Right now, we're going to take a phone call.
Hello, it's Roz Mocha. What's your name?
My name is Anu.
Anu. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good, thank you.
So I'm calling in because I'm here with my 3 kids, and we love listening to Roxy's Shut Up Maury song.
Oh.
So the kids think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
And so my youngest, who's 4, likes to imitate it.
Really?
Oh, no.
Yes.
Okay, so first of all, let's explain the story.
Yeah, geez. So how old is this song? Like, how old was Roxy even when this happened?
I don't know. I think she was like maybe 6.
Like, we were in the old studio, right?
Yeah,
when this
6 or
happened?
7. Yeah,
because she's
9 now.
Yeah. So we had said on the show, Mocha and I, shut up, Maury. And then Roxy was listening, and then she started saying, shut up, Maury. And then Catherine recorded it, sent it to us, and then we had it remixed into this epic track just simply called Shut Up, Maury, featuring my kid on vocals.
So, Anu, you said you're 4-year-old, right?
Yep, he's 4. He's right here.
Maury hates hearing that.
So, Anu, can we get your 4-year-old to say it before we actually play the song?
Yeah, we're going to get him to say it.
Okay.
Caden, you ready? Shut up, Maury. Want to do it again? One more time. I'll take you to the yellow store. I told him I'd take him to Bulk Barn if he does this.
Oh, my God.
Shut up, Maury.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Like, it's perfect.
Amazing. Well, if you haven't heard it yet, here's the Roz and Mocha Shut Up Maury remix. Thanks, Anu.
Thanks. We love you guys.
Good morning. Oh, that would be awesome. Jesus. Good morning. Oh. Yeah, man.
Shut up, Maury.
Satisfied.
Shut up, Maury.
Yo.
Shut up.
Yo.
Shut up.
Yeah. Dreidel. Shut up.
Maury.
I made it out of clay. Get your claws up, little monsters. Good morning. Get your claws up, little monsters. Good morning.
Shut up, Maury.
Yeah, man.
Shut up, Maury.
Damn it, Maury.
Shut up, Maury.
Here we go.
The Roz and Mocha Show.
Podcast.
Let me ask you this question here.
I will not lie.
On the website, The Thrillist. Thrillist. They ranked the top 12 burger toppings.
Oh, boy. Hold on. 12?
Yeah. Now, here's where it gets tricky. Condiments are all looped into one.
Where it shouldn't be.
Condiments include ketchup, mustard, Thousand Island dressing, mayo, aioli, ranch, relish, and barbecue sauce. That only takes up one spot.
So what the hell else do you put on a burger?
Okay, do you want me to go through their list?
Can we guess?
Yeah, you can guess.
I'm going to say onions is pretty high.
Onions is pretty high.
I'm going to say pickles are pretty high. Tomatoes are pretty high.
Pickles are top 5. Tomatoes are not high at all. Not on this list.
Cheese?
Yeah, so the number one condiment for a burger, the number one topping for a burger, my bad, is cheese.
Agreed.
Number 2, onions.
Yeah.
No. I don't like raw onions at all.
I had cheese and onion on a burger I had yesterday.
I could have like sauteed onions, but if I had the option, I would not even put onions on a burger.
Number 3 is condiments.
That makes sense.
So cheese, onions, then condiments.
That's surprising because I would have said condiments would have been number 1, followed by cheese.
Thank you.
Because not everybody likes cheese.
Right. At number 4 is pickles.
Okay.
5 is bacon. Number 6, chilies.
Pickles over bacon?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Number 6, chilies. Number 7, avocado. Keep in mind, we have not got to lettuce and tomato yet.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Yeah, we hate vegetables.
Number 8 is lettuce.
Yeah.
Number 9 is chili.
Chili?
Yes.
Like you're making a sloppy joke?
Yes.
Okay.
Number 10 are eggs.
Eggs?
Number 11 are tomatoes.
Really?
Okay,
Yeah,
so
we really do hate vegetables.
Eggs and chili beat tomato.
Have you ever had an egg on a burger?
Yes.
Yes.
I actually 2 days ago had
This just blew my mind.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've ever heard of that.
And number 12, disgusting mushrooms.
I don't mind mushrooms.
Not a
Sauteed
chance.
mushrooms.
I will never. I
like mushrooms.
Nope. I will never. No, and I'll tell you why I don't. I mean, there's a million reasons why I don't like mushrooms.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what I particularly don't like about mushrooms.
Okay, let me sit down for this.
Yeah, is that people use them as filler. So my big gripe in life is when I order something that is supposed to have like meat in it. So if I order a chicken soup, right? Or if I order some sort of chili from somewhere, what they do is they put about half the chicken in or half the meat in that you should for a chili or for a chicken soup, and they pad out the rest of it with mushrooms. So when I take a bite of something, if I get all these mushrooms on my spoon, first, I will never eat a mushroom. Never. If I accidentally eat a mushroom, I'm like one of those kids on YouTube who has wasabi for the first time. Like my face contorts and I start asking for help.
Squishes up.
I can't believe you don't like mushrooms. You're such a fun guy.
No, I cannot do mushrooms. Biting into a mushroom feels like to me like biting into
Flesh?
human fat.
Yeah.
Like I don't like it's so weird to
mushrooms,
me
man.
biting into a mushroom.
I ordered poutine the other day and it comes with mushrooms on top, and I wrote saying, can you not have mushrooms on there, please? They called me saying they can't take the mushrooms off the poutine because it's mixed in with the sauce.
What sauce? What kind of poutine did you order?
It's from a restaurant I like, and it's mushroom sauce, like a cheese and
No, but
mushroom.
what do they call it though? What kind of poutine is that?
Better not be called a mushroom poutine because then you're gonna have to leave this building right now.
It's actually called a mushroom.
So you order mushroom poutine and then say, "Hey, no mushrooms,"
because it's the only poutine on the menu.
Whose only poutine on a menu has mushrooms in it? What is wrong with people?
No, what is wrong with you, Maury?
I don't want mushrooms.
There's like
on
a
my
million
poutine.
options in this city to get a poutine, and the one place you go only serves one poutine, which is a mushroom poutine, and you ask them not to put mushrooms.
Okay. Anyway, we've lost track here. So the top 12 burger toppings, by the way. Okay. I'll run through them for you again. So these are the top 12 burger toppings. Okay. At number 1, make you fat. At number 2, give you bad breath. At number 3, ketchup. At number 4, disgusting pickles. Number 5, make you fat. Number 6, make you fat. Number 7, make you fat. 8, lettuce. 9, 9, chili. 10, eggs. 11, finally tomatoes. And at number 12, mushrooms.
Sounds delicious.
Here we go.
The Roz and Mocha Show
Podcast.
Yo, shout out to everyone that showed up to Square One on Friday night in Mississauga.
Yeah.
Dale Morey, DJ Climax, and I were out there hosting an event. Serge Ibaka from the Toronto Raptors was there.
Yeah, it's pretty great, huh?
Met a ton of fans of the show, which is fantastic. Always love meeting people who listen to the show.
I haven't had that much fun in so long.
It was because Matthew wasn't there. Maury got worried at one point because he was wearing a white shirt, right?
Yeah.
And he spilled wine on his white shirt. And he came over.
Red wine?
Yeah. Frantic. Frantic.
And ice cream.
Frantic. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. What do I do? What do I do?
Yeah, it's
I was
not
like,
my
what?
problem, man.
I was like, what? Like, I'm not your dad.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not your mom. What do I do? What do I do? I'm like, what happened? I spilt red wine. Matthew's going to kill me.
Yeah.
I'm like, but it's just, why would Matthew kill you? Because it's a Burberry shirt.
Oh. But this, like,
it was a hand-me-down, too.
From
a publicist gave me
no,
a free...
that wasn't a hand-me-down. That was, I know that shirt specifically. I know that shirt.
It's just a plain white shirt, though.
No, it is not. How that shirt wound up into Maury's life is one of, I swear to God, weirdest stories I've ever heard in my life. So the Burberry shirt that Maury was wearing Friday night to the event at Square One came to him in the most unusually stockish, weird way that if you ever acted like that, you would never repeat the story for shame, but Maury tells it with pride. So, Maury, where did that shirt come from?
A publicist.
No. How did you acquire that shirt from a publicist?
In a shopping bag.
No. Tell the story.
Just tell the story, man. Hurry up.
Okay, from what I remember, it was given to, I was asked, do you want this shirt?
No.
Okay, what's the story?
Just tell the story.
Maury saw a publicist that was wearing that shirt.
Yeah.
And Maury was like, oh my God, that's a Burberry shirt. I love it.
That's right. Yeah.
I love it. And then the guy was like, oh yeah, you want it? And Maury was like, yes. Then later that night, Maury showed up at the guy's hotel, sat in the lobby and texted him and said, I'm here for the shirt.
No!
Yeah, I forgot all of that.
It was a joke, like it was a goof. And then Maury showed up at the man's hotel, found out where he was staying, texted him later that night, and then the man brought Maury down the shirt in a bag and was like, here?
What is wrong with you?
But it's a fabulous shirt.
Yeah.
It's Burberry.
It's not got red wine on it.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Jeremy Lin was trending all weekend.
NBA champion.
Right? And there's two ways to listen to this Jeremy Lin clip.
Okay.
And we'll listen to it the first way, and then we're going to listen to it again a second way, okay? So I want you to listen to this Jeremy Lin clip as a guy who is competitive and as a guy who wants to compete and wants to do his best and feels that he has been pushed out or left behind in the NBA, and that nobody wants him, and that his entire playoff run was nothing but memes making disparaging comments about him. So I want you to listen to this clip and think that way.
With all the sadness in my heart?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've given more of myself to God every single year, and every year it gets harder.
Oh no.
And in English there's a saying, and it says, once you hit rock bottom, the only way is up. But rock bottom just seems to keep getting more and more rock bottom for me. And so free agency has been tough, because I feel like in some ways the NBA has kind of given up on me.
Oh no.
Okay.
Poor guy.
Right. Okay.
And they had the music.
Okay. Now I want you to listen to it a different way. Okay. With perspective. Because perspective is everything. So you only live the life that you live. And when you are deep into your own world, it's hard to look at any other opportunity or get perspective on your own life. But as outsiders, it's very easy for us to look at Jeremy Lin, where Jeremy Lin is crying because he can't get an NBA job. Now listen to this clip and think about it this way. Okay. Jeremy Lin, decent basketball player. Right? Like,
hey, listen, he's an NBA champ.
So listen to it this way. Jeremy Lin, decent basketball player. Also Harvard graduate, also NBA champ, also has made $65 million in the course of his mediocre career. Now listen to this clip.
I've given more of myself to God every single year, and every year it gets harder. And in English there's a saying, and it says, once you hit rock bottom, the only way is up. But rock bottom just seems to keep getting more and more rock bottom for me. And so free agency has been tough, because I feel like in some ways the NBA has kind of given up on me.
Rock bottom for Jeremy Lin is being an NBA champ who has made $65 million in his career. That's rock bottom.
It sounds like he's about to put on the Iron Man suit and kick some ass.
Right. Okay. We need to just pump the brakes on the feeling bad for Jeremy Lin.
Do we need to do a video, 92 Reasons Why Jeremy Should Stay?
No.
No Lin and Dine? Nothing like that?
No.
We're not going to go on the campaign?
Like, I feel bad for the man. You want to be competitive. You're an athlete. I get it. You want to be competitive, okay? But you got to look at your life, man. And before you sit down and do these press conferences where tears start running down your face because you're talking about rock bottom, you're talking to the media and your fans about what rock bottom is. You have to have some sort of self-awareness that maybe your rock bottom isn't that bad.
No, 65 mil? Are you kidding me? You walk around the streets,
Bro.
any city in this entire country, and you will find examples of what real life rock bottom is.
And I get it. His rock bottom is different than your rock bottom.
For sure.
Okay? Beyonce's struggles are different than somebody else's struggles. I get it, right?
I wish I had Beyonce's struggles.
Yeah, thank you. But you have to have a little bit of self-awareness when you start crying in front of a microphone talking about rock bottom, when you're an NBA champ, you're a mediocre player, and you've made $65 million, also graduated from Harvard.
All right, that campaign is going to start. Lin and Dine.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
What advice can you guys give me?
Okay, so my question is...
Got a problem you can't fix?
Roz and Mocha got you.
Hey, it's Roz and Mocha.
Hey, Roz. Hey, Mocha.
Hey, congratulations on your upcoming wedding.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm great.
Okay, Zainab, here's what you wrote to us.
So, Roz and Mocha FML, I'm getting married and want to know what you think makes a successful marriage. Any tips from me? No, Maury, not secrets.
Wait, hold on. So how long have you been together prior to getting married?
3 years.
Okay. And I mean, obviously the relationship's been A-okay up until now?
Yeah, the relationship's been good. We've been talking to each other. We know what's going on. We know our goals are in life together.
Okay, so you still talk then?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, obviously.
So, Zainab, what do you think is going to happen after you officially tie the knot and are husband and wife?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking you guys. Like, I know, Mocha, you got married. Roz, you've been with your girl for like forever.
Yeah, I've been married too, though. It didn't work out.
So that's exactly what I want to avoid. I don't want to be your first marriage.
Do you guys live together yet?
Yeah, we actually
you
moved
do?
in last year.
Oh, God, that's the hard part's over then, sweetheart.
Yeah, I think you're fine.
Really?
You don't need any advice from us.
Yeah.
Just keep talking to each other. Keep, being open and honest. Talk about your
Okay.
feelings. Spend time together, as much time as you can.
Okay.
So you're gonna love being married, right? Like, because being married's fun, okay? Being with somebody that you love and they love you, it's a good time. You have to each other both be aware of what you like about the relationship and what makes you jazzed to be together and what gives you energy and what makes you feel fulfilled and satisfied and all that stuff. Because all that, the stuff that you sort of really, really enjoy is often the stuff that you then take for granted because you think it comes so natural to you guys because you're such a good fit. But those things are actually the things that you need to make sure that you work on to maintain. If you guys have, great sex, don't assume that it's always going to be that way because life is going to bog you down and the things that you enjoy are going to be the first things that go because you don't work on them and you don't pay attention to them. And then all of a sudden, you guys aren't talking as much as you were anymore and you're getting home and you're going to sit on the couch together. You're going to watch 3 hours of Netflix. One of you is going to fall asleep and then you're going to bed separately. And that's going to be your life for a little while. But you have to just make sure that you maintain the things that make you interested in being with that person.
Okay.
The other thing I will say, wait, do you have kids already or no?
No, he has 2 from a previous marriage.
Okay, do you plan on having kids?
Yeah, we plan on having at least 1.
Okay, so here's what I would recommend. I mean, may not work for everybody. Between Jenna and I, we enjoyed this part of it, which is spend time, even though you'd been together for 3 years before becoming husband and wife, have a little bit of time to be husband and wife before you get into having kids. Spend the time and go traveling and do this, do that as like a married couple.
Okay.
The one thing you're going to hear, especially on your wedding day, next it's time for children.
Yeah.
When you guys going to have kids? Don't listen to any of that.
Don't worry, that's already been started.
Yeah, so don't be listening to any of that pressure.
When you guys fight, what do you fight about?
The little things.
Like what?
Who bought milk? Why is the toilet paper not replaced?
Okay, so those things are going to be the things that will ruin an entire weekend in 5 years.
Yeah, but arguing is healthy.
Okay, those are going to be the things that they're the sort of inconsequential little nothing. They're going to be the things that you will eventually blow your top over. Okay, and you got to know that that's coming. You have to expect it, and it shouldn't be a surprise when it does happen. But it's going to happen. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but just as long as you guys laugh at the same things, you like a couple of the same shows, you eat the same food, and you like his family and he likes your family, you just sit there and be in love and just make sure you maintain and make sure every now and then you guys sit each other down, look at each other in the face, and have a conversation about your relationship.
Okay.
And never go to bed angry.
Never go to bed angry. Okay. Thanks.
All right, love.
Thanks, Zainab. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life. Only on Kiss.
Do you have a time of day where you feel that you're at your best, where you're in your best mood? Like, give me a window.
Do you mean
And
productive
we're talking,
or just happy?
We're talking Monday to Friday here. So I'll give you an example, okay? So when they polled individuals and asked them where they feel that they are in their best mood during the day.
Yeah.
So on weekends, you're at your best starting at around 11 a.m. But let's talk Monday to Friday here. Okay. When are you in your best mood? When are you feeling at your absolute best? Monday to Friday.
I'm going to say the average person is going to say...
No, say you.
Oh, for me.
You.
See,
because that's how you get these numbers.
Okay, but my best feeling time of day is going to be different from the average because of what time I wake up.
That's okay. We can figure it out. We know what your morning is and what your evening is.
So I would say between 10 and about 10 a.m. and about 12:30.
Okay.
Or 10 a.m. Let's say 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Okay, so if you had a regular person's life where you were working 9 to 5,
yeah,
those numbers would be what then for you?
Maybe like between 2 and 5 p.m.
So still at work, you feel that you're in your best
maybe
mood.
during the day, because I'm like a little bit more productive.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Maury?
I'm going to totally say between 7 and 9 p.m. because it's right around the time dinner is served, and when you're on the couch watching and watching TV.
I'm sure Matthew would love to hear that.
The $60 ice cream on Uber Eats just arrived. Dinner served. They say that you're in your best mood at your best between 6 and 9 p.m. Monday to Friday.
I mean, I would gear towards the later, 9 p.m. kind of thing when you sort of get under the covers with a good book.
They also ask those same people, what is something that will instantly put you in a good mood? So let's say you're not at your best. You're not at your best mood, right? But what will instantly put you in a good mood?
Like comfort food, maybe? Like a pizza?
Comfort food is having a snack. Number 10 on the list. Yes, I will say that.
Dancing in the living room.
No. No.
What about a kiss from your significant other?
Getting a hug is on the list. Yes. Flowers in bloom is number 9. The sounds of birds chirping always put people in a good mood, they say.
Really?
Good weather.
Oh, I was just going to say sunshine.
Yes. Good weather. Getting a hug at number 6.
Finding money.
Finding money at number 5.
Really?
Yep. Getting a compliment.
Oh, okay.
You know what those are, more?
I've given them to you.
Going for a walk at number 3.
Yeah.
When the
I would agree with
sun
that.
comes out. So I guess you're looking at clouds, everything else, sun comes out, instantly puts you in a better mood.
Yeah, agreed.
And then the one thing that they say will always is a guaranteed mood changer, which is a good night's sleep.
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah,
Also,
I would agree.
$60 ice cream from Uber Eats.
Yes.
Here we go.
The Roz and Mocha Show.
Podcast.
I've paid some extraordinary amounts of money for things when I've
Tight
traveled
pants and scarves.
staying in hotels.
Okay.
Because we all know the stories of hotels, they charge ridiculous amounts of money for ridiculous things.
Everything is the answer.
I think that one of my most outrageous charges was, what did it work out to? It was $28 for a small pot of coffee plus an 18% delivery fee.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
That must have been some good ass coffee though.
Yeah, it's fine. But Iggy Azalea was in Vegas, and she didn't say which hotel she was at.
Okay. I love Vegas.
But Iggy Azalea was in Vegas, and she starts tweeting her lunch.
Okay.
And she ordered a grilled cheese sandwich. And the grilled cheese sandwich was $54.
Oh my God, 54?
Okay.
Is it made out of gold?
Okay. The grilled cheese sandwich was $54. Then she comes back on social media and goes, oh my God, it's worse than I thought because they charged her $10.08 for cutlery. So there's a cutlery charge.
I've never heard of that before.
So they charge her $10.08 for cutlery. Then she was like, okay, they're starting to make things better. She goes, they just delivered an ice bucket. And then they hand her the ice bucket, and then she opens the ice bucket, and the ice bucket's empty. So you have to go get your own ice at that point. And then she sort of ended it where everybody was like, dude, you got to take the TV. You got to take everything else.
Yeah.
And then, so I think her last post was her throwing the cutlery in her luggage. And somebody was like, man, you're going to get busted. And you can't steal cutlery. And then her response was, you can't steal something that I have a receipt for.
I bought it.
I paid $10.08 for a fork and knife. And the grilled cheese, I understand sometimes you get a super fancy grilled cheese or a super fancy burger or whatever it is. This was a straight up white bread grilled cheese sandwich.
Yeah, but maybe
Nothing
the cheese in
else
it
in
was
it.
expensive. Maybe it was Gouda or something.
No, it was just regular Cracker Barrel.
$54.
They didn't even put no lobster in it. I would understand if it was a lobster grilled cheese, right?
Oh, that sounds good.
$54. That's what they charge in a hotel.
For just Wonder Bread and Cracker Barrel.
For a grilled cheese sandwich. $54.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hey, we often talk about the lies you tell in a relationship.
Yeah.
Mostly financials.
Of course.
But what about early on in a relationship? Do you remember back to when you were in those relationships where they were new?
Yeah.
And the sort of truths that you would bend? the sort of lies that you may tell or be told? Like, what are people most likely to lie about at the beginning, in the early stages of a relationship?
That's not money?
Even before you know how far this relationship is going to go.
Your number, how many previous relationships you've had.
Oh, there we go. Hold on here. Let me see.
Did you lie to Matthew about that?
But you think that you get in that very early on in a relationship?
I think when people start dating, within the first couple of dates, you start talking about, what's your number?
No, you don't.
1,000%.
Within the first couple?
Really?
Nah, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
You would never bring that up because we know your number. It's 2.
Oh, and the scary thing is when on a TV show they start talking about what the number is, I immediately change the channel.
That's always awkward. That's always
then
awkward.
you know it's going to come up on the couch.
No, it only comes up because you feel weird about getting into that kind of conversation with Matthew.
Here's what they say are the things that you lie about most frequently in the early stages of a relationship.
Well, how much you make at work?
Their salary is number 1.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Number 1 on the list is your salary. So, hobbies and interest is number 10. Because a lot of people are like, what do you do on the weekends? Oh, you know what? Last weekend, you know what? I just went to the museum alone. It's beautiful.
No, you didn't.
No, you
You
didn't.
sat on the couch with your shirt off, watching Netflix.
Yeah. Like you volunteer. Where they live at number 9.
But I feel like that's like a somewhat of a difficult thing to lie about, because what if the relationship progresses and you want to invite that person over?
Then you're living the life of Maury, where you have to now live with all the lies you told at the beginning of the relationship. Number 8, your current living arrangements, like the number of roommates you have, or still living at home.
Oh, a lot of people say they live on their own when they don't.
Whether you're seeing other people at that time or not.
Oh, yeah, true.
That's a big one. Intentions with the relationship is at number 6. A lot of people will either go too hard on, you know what, I just want to keep it casual.
Yeah.
Right? At number 5 is their family.
What?
Maybe your dad's in the joint, or maybe you grew, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
At number 4 is their job. Lie about their job. Did you ever lie about your job more?
No, I love my job.
No, I don't. When you were like early on in relationships, when you were younger, did
Like
you ever
lie
tell
about a
people
job that you
did things that you didn't do?
Oh, I sort of embellished what I did because, like, early on when I worked at the movie theater or whatever, I would, say things like I didn't want to say I work at a concession stand.
What did you say?
Oh, that I was, assistant manager.
Oh my God! You were assistant manager?
Meanwhile, I was the guy in charge of the posters.
Yeah. Isn't it funny that Maury's big lie is that he's assistant manager of a movie theater? Not that there's anything wrong with being assistant manager at a movie theater, but when that then becomes like, I can't go farther than that, it won't be believable. You know what I mean? Like that is the height.
Say that on the manager.
Yeah, like that's the height of your own sort of internal potential at that moment. Like, how far can I take this before getting called out? Lie about their job. Debt at number 3.
Hell yeah.
You still lie about that.
Spending habits at number 2.
Hell yeah.
You still lie about that.
And Mocha called this one early, which is their salary.
How's age not on there?
Because everything's an app now. Yeah. Everything has your age on it. Everybody knows everybody else's age now.
No, but you lie on the app. No one tells the truth about your age.
Does Matthew know how much money you make?
I think, that's a good question.
Then a no.
Yeah, I guess no.
Oh, look at that. I don't think he does.
You never asked? Or you've never told him?
Well, no, I mean,
you've never gone home after, at the end of the day and been like,
T4 at the end of the year.
I've been like, hey, Matthew, guess what? Great news. I got a raise.
Yeah.
Here's how much I'm going to be making.
Yeah.
In the next little while, next couple of years.
I think it came down to I didn't want him to feel bad because I made more. But yet he's better with his money and he makes less.
You make more than Matthew and you're still like
yeah, dude, don't even.
In financial crisis?
Don't even. Yes. Yeah. Underwater. Underwater.
Here we go.
The Roz and Mocha Show
Podcast.
You see those pictures of Camila Cabello and her not boyfriend Shawn Mendes?
Do they look like they're not in love still?
Yeah, totally not in love. Out in Miami. In the water, her arms wrapped around his neck, his arms wrapped around her waist.
Yeah.
Lips touching in a kissing fashion. And he's currently on tour, and she's been popping up at a couple of the tour dates every now and then. Also, these two who are not in a relationship pictured holding hands as they got out of the water.
I'll tell you, aside from wanting to keep things under wraps because the massive amount of attention, I get it even on just a civilian level, because those first couple of weeks or months when you're in a brand new relationship are sexy. And one of the reasons that they are sexy is when you sort of have an almost kind of secret relationship.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't mean secret as in there's shame that you don't want to tell somebody you're dating a person because of any particular reason about that person. But you just haven't got to the point of where you've told people yet, where you're just still trying to figure each other out and you're both living in your own bubble that you're sort of creating together. It's a sexy time in a relationship.
Do you remember when
it
Jay-Z
really is.
and Beyonce said absolutely nothing, didn't acknowledge their relationship at all, even up until their wedding day? Like, it wasn't like, hey, yeah, we've been dating for all these years and guess what? Now we're going to get married.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, are they not? I mean, they're pictured everywhere together.
Yeah, we
and then
knew, though.
everybody knew.
Yeah.
It was just never acknowledged. And all of a sudden, like years later, it was like, oh, Jay-Z and Beyonce getting married on this rooftop in New York, and here's who showed up.
Yeah.
Right, but even then, they like never said anything.
Yeah, and I don't know if you have to.
No,
like,
they don't have to.
I mean, the problem with not saying something when you're Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello is that people won't stop asking about it. The problem, if you do acknowledge a relationship, is that people won't stop asking about it.
Yeah.
Now, when you live your life on social like a lot of young stars do, and then you then clam up when somebody asks you a very normal question about your life that you post on social and you don't want to talk about it. That's what I have a problem with. But if they're not particularly flaunting their relationship through social,
These are all just like paparazzi pictures,
they're still
right?
trying to keep it sexy. Like, I get that. Like, I get the idea of you have this small window in the beginning of a relationship where you have that sort of sexy secret time together. And when it's gone forever, right? You never get that back in a relationship. And that sort of period where you're just trying to keep it sexy is just, there's nothing to compare to it, right? And so if they're not going hard on social, they're still just trying to keep it sexy.
Yeah. There's
nothing wrong with that.
I like them as a couple. I think they're fine.
I think anything you do, you should always look at everything you do in life and at least try and find one angle on how to make it sexy.
Yeah.
Right? Just everything you do. It doesn't have to be entirely sexy.
No,
but
for
just
sure.
everything you do, just try and find that one way to just make it a little bit sexy.
But yeah, looking at these pictures of them in the water kissing and stuff.
Yeah, man.
Totally not the relationship.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
What advice can you guys give me?
Okay, so my question is...
Got a problem you can't fix?
Roz and Mocha got you.
Nicoletta, how are you? It's Roz and Mocha.
I'm good. How are you?
Great.
Nicoletta, you wrote us this. Hey, Roz and Mocha, fixed my life. Almost 2 years ago, I lost my job along with a few other colleagues. One of them, James, and I had become good friends. We ended up hooking up at a party a little while later. We talked all the time, and there was flirting. But he left the country for a job. Now, he's coming back, but I don't know when. We've never had, quote, the talk about us, so I'm in limbo, and I don't want to push when he's that far away, but it would be nice to know. So when you say hooked up, what do you mean hooked up?
Had sex.
Okay. And it was just like a one-night thing?
Yeah, pretty much. We talked all the time afterwards. So.
But you weren't carrying on with like dates and when he was still here, sort of moving the relationship forward in any way?
No, he's too busy. He lost his house, so he was kind of going through a whole bunch of stuff then.
Okay.
And how long has he been out of the country for?
It'll be a year in November.
And when he comes back, is he coming back like for good, or is it like temporary and then he has to go somewhere else?
The plan is to come back for good when he finds a job here.
So what's the communication been with him since he's been gone?
Hit and miss depending, because I think it's Colombia he's in, so it depends on service. So I usually contact him over like LinkedIn or something.
Yeah. But what do you guys talk about?
Anything and everything. How he's doing. He hates where he is. He asks how I'm doing, how's work.
Do you talk about yourselves as a sort of couple? Like, do you say that you miss each other?
I say I miss him. He kind of says the same thing, but nothing in depth. If you get to that, he talked about his head isn't in the right place to have that kind of discussion right now.
Do you ever talk about the night you hooked up?
No.
No.
We haven't yet, no, because he's not here. So.
Is there a chance that maybe it was a one-time hookup for James and that's it?
Oh, it could be. I don't know. We never got a chance to actually sit down and talk about it.
You know. What does your gut tell you?
My gut tells me there's more there.
Yeah. Okay.
Based on how because he'll text me and the text with the XX and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
which is not something you do with.
Do you want to be
others,
in a
but
relationship with him?
I'd like to be, but if it's not going to happen, I'm okay with it.
So,
I'll keep him as a friend. But
well, here's the thing: is that it's risk and reward, okay? And with any of these times where you fall in love with somebody and they're a friend, the idea of confessing your love to them. And if they're like, I'm not there, but thanks. If you think that you're going to go back to being the same friends that you were, you're crazy.
Oh no, I know.
You have to be able to risk in your head, whether it's the way it's going to be or not. But when you sort of get to that place where you're like, I need to tell this person that I'm wildly in love with them. I need to tell my friend that I'm in love with them. You have to also be comfortable with the fact that you may torch your entire friendship or alter it in a way that it will never be the way that it was.
Yeah. I know. I just don't want to do it when he's overseas because it doesn't seem fair to him. So.
Yeah, but I think that if he missed you and, you guys had that, one great night together, I think maybe you would talk about it. I think that you would be a little bit flirty.
Yeah, just flirty, but we don't talk about that, no.
I'd say, you know what? Honestly, Nicoletta, I think you should just leave it alone.
Okay.
Like if your friendship is good and you have fantastic conversation, your texts between each other are great, I wouldn't want you to like risk that happiness that you have in your life right now by saying something that may, make him want to distance himself from you.
True.
Do you think that this guy's going to be your friend for life?
Oh God, I don't know. That'd be nice, but
so you don't
you
know.
Never know these days, right?
So you don't know.
No.
You don't know. What if you found a boyfriend tomorrow?
I find a boyfriend and he's still a friend. So
yeah, you think that your boyfriend's going to be cool with that?
Well, he's not my boyfriend yet.
No. Your new boyfriend.
Oh, the other one.
Your new
I don't
boyfriend.
know.
Yeah, no.
It depends.
Probably
It depends.
not. Probably not.
Damn,
Probably
Nicoletta,
not,
it sounds like you got to have a lot of conversations with a lot of guys.
Yeah, Nicoletta, I think that I'm leaning towards the fact that this is bothering you.
Yeah,
but it's not a terrible bother. You're in love, right? Which is the greatest problem to have in most situations, and you just want the person that you're in love with, one, to know that you love them, even if they don't love you back. You have to get that off your chest. That's the way love works, right? You got it all inside you, and you need to throw it at a human being. Right?
True.
And I'm all for that, because if this guy is not going to be, if you can't say right now that this guy's going to be your friend for life, okay, then take the chance.
You think you can look that far away, not in person?
No, listen, call him on the phone or wait till he comes back or whatever it is, but take the chance.
When he comes back, I definitely want to meet up with him. He's always texting me saying, I want to make you dinner, we'll get together.
Yeah, take the chance.
Okay.
What do you got to lose?
I don't know, friendship?
Yeah.
Possibly, but you got to do what you got to do. Life is short, right?
Life is short, man.
Yeah.
You got to jump.
Very true. I'm going to jump.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nicoletta. Take care.
You too. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life. Only on Kiss.
I was out of town. I was at the cottage where we have no air conditioning.
Yeah.
And,
oh, boy.
And I was alone. And so I buggered off for 3 hours and went to see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, in the air conditioning.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, alone.
Did you like the movie?
Yeah, I loved it.
Good.
It's crazy.
Did you fall asleep?
No,
Oh,
not
nice.
at all. Not at all. It's really. Are you a Tarantino fan?
I do enjoy his movies. Yes.
It's the same, but so different than any other Tarantino movie. One, there's really not a lot of swearing.
What?
Yeah. Which I love the way Tarantino writes profanity. But there's not a lot of swearing at all. Like, it's not that kind of movie where people are just stringing together these beautifully, written ways of destroying somebody with words.
Tarantino doing like with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah. There's not a lot of swearing. There's very little violence, except for extreme violence. But other than that, there's very little violence. But the violence.
So instead of there being a lot of violence throughout the movie, there's some violence throughout the movie, and when that some violence happens, it's extreme.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but other than that, you're looking at a movie that's almost 3 hours long, right?
Right.
And the amount of violence in the movie is minimal. I would say, minimal.
You're not going to get like that Kill Bill scene.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying that it's not strung throughout. Kill Bill was a violent movie throughout.
Yeah.
Inglourious Bastards was a violent movie throughout. Reservoir Dogs was a violent movie throughout. Pulp Fiction was a violent movie throughout. This is not a violent movie throughout. This is a
sprinkle of violence here and there?
Nope.
Oh.
No, like there's, as far as the violence goes, you're looking at 2 scenes in a 3-hour movie.
Okay.
Yeah. Other than that, it's Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio just being the greatest on-screen pairing you'll ever see.
Oh, nice.
Like, it's just awesome. But everybody was going in on Tarantino's fetish with feet, specifically dirty feet.
Dirty feet?
Because, apparently he's got like a thing with feet. Like, Tarantino always puts feet, like somebody's feet in his movie. And,
oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, there's always somebody's feet in movies, right? It's his thing.
I think I read something about him and his foot fetish.
Yeah.
recently.
But, so there's, I think, 5 scenes in the movie where you see somebody's feet, but it's not just feet, it's dirty feet.
Gross.
Like, it's not like when they show
like filthy, like they're just like full
just
of
dirty,
grime and dirt.
Okay, you know, and I don't have this because I don't walk around in sandals as much as Catherine does. But if you look at the bottom of my feet and you look at the bottom of Catherine's feet, Catherine looks like she works on an oil rig. Okay, where I look like I work at Holt Renfrew.
Sure.
Right? Catherine's feet are always dirty. She just has dirty girl feet.
Yeah.
Where it's like walking around outside in the city in open-toed everything.
Yeah.
Like her feet are just always a little bit orange on the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Like it's scrubbed off, like there's no fresh dirt, but it's just an accumulation of the city, right? So there's a lot of that. Like there's just a lot of like all of a sudden feet just pop up, like somebody's sitting there and they relax and then their feet become the forefront of the scene and you're just fixated on them because you're like, now did she know that her feet were this dirty? And then she just shot the scene and then they were like, that's cool. And then you see another pair of dirty feet, another pair of dirty feet.
And you're like, oh, this is on purpose.
And you're like, exactly.
Because Tarantino's a weirdo like that.
Right. Okay. So there's that. But no, the movie is incredible, and I guess it did like $40 million at the box office. It still didn't beat Lion King, but it did it did like $40 million. And for a 3-hour Tarantino movie that's not a sequel or a franchise, you know, that's an incredible opening. It was his biggest opening, but no, the movie's really cool.
Yeah.
Like it's so different. But if you sort of grew up if you were young when the Tarantino movie started coming out and you're sort of grown now, this is the perfect movie for Tarantino to do for you at the point of you are in your life right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And
it's
dirty feet.
Awesome. And so many dirty feet.
Here we go.
The Roz and Mocha Show
Podcast.
So you have not seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood yet.
I have not.
So we got to talk about real quick here.
Brad Pitt, Leo, Quentin Tarantino movie,
Margot Robbie, and like a whole bunch of other people too. Like there's a bunch of cameos in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not a ton. Like it's not distracting. I'll say that. But
are you allowed to say who?
Bruce Lee's daughter, Shannon Lee, says that she was, quote, that it was disheartening to see the way that Quentin Tarantino depicted her father in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood as an arrogant a-hole who was full of hot air. So there's a scene in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and it's even in the trailer a little tiny bit.
Yeah.
Where the actor who plays Bruce Lee is sort of boasting and showboating and full of arrogance. So this is a little bit of that.
My hands are registered as lethal weapons. We get into a fight, I accidentally kill you, I go to jail.
Anybody accidentally kills anybody in a fight, they go to jail. It's called manslaughter.
So in the scene, what happens is, so first of all, she says this, I can understand all the reasoning behind what is portrayed in the movie. She goes, I understand that the two characters are anti-heroes, and this is sort of like a rage fantasy of what would happen, and they're portraying a period in time that clearly had a lot of racism. She goes on to say, I understand that they want to make Brad Pitt's character the super badass who could beat up Bruce Lee, but they don't need to treat him in the way that white Hollywood did when he was alive. He comes across as an arrogant a-hole who is full of hot air and not someone who had to fight triple as hard as any of those people did to accomplish what was naturally given to so many others. So the scene is, and you've seen it, where the guy playing Bruce Lee goes, if I kill you in a fight, I go to jail because my hands are lethal weapons and it's manslaughter. And Brad Pitt's character goes, if anybody kills anybody in a fight, you go to jail because it's manslaughter. And then they get up and Brad Pitt is like, okay, come at me. And then Bruce Lee kicks him and Brad Pitt goes flying. And then Brad Pitt's character is like, okay, do that again. And then Bruce Lee goes to kick him and Brad Pitt grabs his leg and throws him through a car, basically.
Oh,
right?
damn.
So here's the thing is I get that and it's all sort of played for jokes and everything else.
Yeah.
But that whole scene where this happens is a daydream. So the whole scene with Bruce Lee is Brad Pitt daydreaming about kicking Bruce Lee's ass.
Oh.
Right?
So if it wasn't taken from an actual thing that happened.
No. None of this stuff in the movie ever happened, right? It's all fantasy. It's all Quentin Tarantino fantasy. But within that fantasy is also a fantasy. Right? And then you could say that.
So I don't think then Bruce Lee's daughter could say what she said.
It's weird. Because the one thing you can't do, you can say a lot of things about Bruce Lee and it's super weird, but the one thing that people are extremely protective of is the fact that nobody could ever kick Bruce Lee's ass.
Right.
And I think that people are offended that in a movie, it's not about the voice or the look or his arrogance or anything else. It was about the fact that Quentin Tarantino put a scene in a movie where somebody kicked Bruce Lee's ass.
Yeah, but it was part of a dream sequence.
It is part of a
So I don't know
daydream.
if that counts.
It's weird, and I don't know how to feel about this because the scene is really funny, but I think it's really funny because it's some guy's fantasy about kicking Bruce Lee's ass.
Where in actuality, nobody could.
Right. Maybe they could. We don't know, but you're not allowed to say they could.
Even if it was a dream? Even if it was a fantasy?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tricky area. Anyway, I love the movie and I love the scene, and I was a huge Bruce Lee fan, but I get how you would be sort of offended by this, but I don't know if they're offended because of the sort of racial aspects of the scene or if they're actually just offended that somebody put Bruce Lee in a movie where Bruce Lee loses a fight.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
What'd you think of this Army Hammer video?
Sucking toes?
Yeah, so Army Hammer put a video on Insta the other night, and everybody went in on him. And let me preface this by saying I'm not a huge fan of Army Hammer. More importantly, Army Hammer is not a huge fan of me.
Did you guys get into a fight or something?
Yeah, it was, and I sort of
not
feel
physical, just
no. We I don't know, man. He was doing a movie, and there was a lot of controversy around the movie. And I was talking to the entire cast about it, and everybody was great, and they gave great answers, and they had thought through what they were going to say if the controversy came up. And then I sat down in front of Army Hammer, and I asked him about it, and he shut me down. And then I got pissy about it, and I pressed, and then he basically I got kicked out of the room. And,
you got kicked out of the room.
Yeah, they shut it all down.
Oh,
they shut the entire interview down, and then they wouldn't release the footage to me.
Oh, you got shut down by Zorro.
Yeah, I got shut down by Zorro.
No, not Zorro. Lone Ranger.
Yes, exactly. And do I feel bad now about it? No, I don't feel bad now. But I guess I sort of went in there trying to make a point because it was a huge story, and I felt that the story was sort of being ignored a little bit by key members of the cast, that they were downplaying what I felt was a huge story. It was the director's involvement in a sexual assault years ago.
Right.
That also included, I believe, one of the writers of the movie. And so it was a heavy topic to get into, and everybody else was really, really gracious, including the director, and they had prepared what they were going to say. Anyway, I don't care about that. So what I'm saying is that I'm not one to defend Army Hammer.
Sure.
But I have to defend Army Hammer.
Okay.
Because Army Hammer released a video where his little kid, his son, who's I think 2 something, maybe, right?
Yeah.
2.5, I guess, is sitting at the end of the couch with Army's bare foot in his mouth. And the kid is sucking on his toes.
And what, people are freaking out over that?
Freaking out about it.
Why?
Yes. But I think that, so kids do weird things, right?
Yeah.
And it's hilarious when a kid throws your foot in his mouth, and then it's funny and you're all laughing.
Sure.
But I think where Army Hammer went wrong was that he used the hashtag foot fetish on fleek.
Oh.
So I think if it's a fun thing that your kid is sucking your toes, right? I think that's cool. It's a fun, stupid moment between a dad and his kid. But when you use the word foot fetish as your child is sucking your toes, it creeped a lot of people out.
Also, nobody says fleek anymore, Army Hammer.
Right. But it
that's
creeped
weird.
a lot of people out.
If you're going to use a hash, just do something stupid like dem toes or something like that.
Yeah, but
you know
no,
what I
he
mean?
said foot fetish.
Yeah, that's weird.
Right? And Army Hammer also has a history of liking very weird posts on Twitter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, where people were like, does Army Hammer know that when he likes something, we can all see that he likes something? I
bet you he doesn't. I bet you he doesn't.
And anyway, his wife had to respond because Perez Hilton got involved.
Oh, God.
And so Army Hammer's wife, Elizabeth, says this. Our son likes to play with people's feet. And I put a video on our family stream because this phase is an ongoing joke. And she goes on to say, sharing the video on Instagram was definitely not the best move on Army's part. She goes on to say that our child's safety and well-being is always our first priority. So I just hate that any parent then has to say, our child's safety and well-being is our first priority after releasing a video like that. It's a terrible world that we live in. The online just sort of cult of attacking people for ridiculous things.
Also, Army Hammer hates you.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Lily Singh has a premiere date for her late night show.
Yeah, big up Lily Singh, Scarborough.
September 16th.
Love it.
And it's interesting. The design by the show was actually quite a brilliant move to hire Lily for that time slot, because that time slot is it's very much a dead zone, right? Carson Daly did that time slot for 15 years. And did you ever hear anything about the Carson Daly show? No, never. But the way that those shows survive now is they're going to be fueled, the word of mouth anyway, will be fueled by what winds up on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know, like I haven't watched a late night show in forever, but I've seen a lot of Corden, I've seen a lot of Fallon, I watch a lot of Kimmel, and it's all the day after on YouTube. And that's what they want for this slot. So it was a brilliant move hiring somebody who already has a monster following. To kickstart those conversations about the show. You couldn't do this with somebody who is not already established on the platform. You couldn't. There's no way to build that in 2019.
She's got 14.8 million subscribers on her YouTube channel alone.
Yeah, so
that's just YouTube.
Yeah, so you hire Lily Singh because you know that these shows will survive because of YouTube the following morning and the following day.
Yeah, and she'll probably just load it up with a lot of skits.
Yeah.
Right? She'll load up the show with a lot of skits, and then also the celebs that she has on her show that she'll interview, I'm sure she will incorporate into some of the skits, which will then help them go viral, right?
And everything they do on that show is going to be designed to be packaged perfectly, not for a network late night talk show, but it's going to be designed to be packaged perfectly for YouTube views, like 100%. So 1:30 a.m. September 16th is when
I'm
A Little
excited,
Late
man.
with Lily
I'm so
Singh
happy for Lily
is
Singh.
going to debut.
I'm just so happy for her, and I cannot wait. And like you said, she's got such a huge following, and people in Hollywood love her.
Yeah,
right. Which is why I think the show is also going to help take off.
Yeah. No, it was an interesting play. That was a smart play.
Here we go.
The Roz and Mocha Show
podcast.
Hello.
Yo, Sass.
Yes.
What's up? It's Roz and Mocha.
Yeah. What's up? What's up?
Yo, happy birthday, Dad!
Thanks, homie. Thanks.
What's going on, homie?
Not much. Just getting the day started.
Oh, okay. All right. Are you still at home?
He's still at home, right?
Okay. Well, your wife hit us up, slid into our DMs like real late at night, and told us to give you a call because it's your birthday.
Thank you.
What are you doing to celebrate?
Probably going to go out tomorrow night with the family.
Oh, okay, cool. Anywhere specific that you guys typically go when it's somebody's birthday?
No, not typically. But probably going to go down to the dance floor tomorrow.
Okay, nice.
Nice.
Like my family, the usual birthday spot to celebrate is always Red Lobster.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Catherine used to.
Always Red
You
Lobster.
know, I've never been?
You never been to Red Lobster?
Nah.
Yo, we should go.
Dude, I've never been to a Red
Lobster, man.
You know where I grew up.
Bread. The garlic bread.
Yeah, totally.
You know what Red Lobster was for me when I was growing up?
What?
Like a place that people went to in movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I never met anybody who'd ever gone to a red. Every now and then, like one of the kids whose parents had money would take them on vacation to like Florida in the summer or something like that, and they would come back with stories of going to Red Lobster. Like it was something that people did, like when their rich parents took them to America.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Red Lobster is always a staple. I know DJ Climax, his family, man, they are all about Mandarin.
Yeah.
Every birthday, every holiday,
Yeah.
anytime they get together, it's always Mandarin.
Growing up, there was, for my mom's birthday anyway, it was my mom's birthday and Father's Day was always Swiss Chalet.
Yeah.
But like you would go to the restaurant.
Yeah,
like
of course.
Like I haven't been to.
I've been to Swiss Chalet in the actual restaurant in like maybe 3 years.
Yeah.
My dad always wants to go wherever they're doing something free for your birthday. Right. Like if it's Jack Astor's, you get a free some sort of dessert.
Yeah.
Or Tucker's Marketplace, you get if it's your birthday, you eat free.
Really?
Yeah. So that's where we all have to go.
Yeah, I'm sure you have the list.
Do they have Moose Winooski out here?
Moose Winooski?
What's that?
Moose Winooski. Okay, so when I lived in Kitchener, right? There's a place, a restaurant / sports bar / pub called. It's much like a Jack Astor's. Okay,
Sure, yeah.
It's called Moose Winooski. And anytime,
my wife. I think my wife knows that. Yeah, she's from Cambridge, so she knows.
so she would know. Okay, so she knows that on a special occasion, like your birthday or whatever, right?
Yeah.
The staff, you know how like restaurants staff will come out and sing?
Yeah.
So at this place though, they bring out this giant moose hat with the antlers and everything.
The hat,
and you wear the hat and you stand on the chair in front of everybody while the staff gathers around and they sing a song to you.
Oh my God. I'd wet myself. I would be the guy standing on a chair in the antlers who peed. Like, I can't deal with that kind of attention.
Oh my God. Yo, Sass, listen, you sound like you have a wonderful family. We just
Thank
wanted
you
to
very
call
much.
to say happy birthday and to thank you for listening to the Roz and Mocha show. Your wife said that you've been listening for a real long time, and we're coming up on our 10-year anniversary, and we can't thank you enough, man. We really appreciate it.
Oh man, you guys are awesome. You guys make the morning work.
And we can't end this phone call without two things. Number one, we got to sing you happy birthday.
Oh, yeah, right.
No antlers.
Yeah, no. I'm going to make you wear the antlers. Don't worry.
Sass.
1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sass. Happy birthday to you. And between Roz and Mocha, who's your favorite? That's going to be the second thing I ask.
Oh my God, it's gotta be Ron.
Happy birthday, brother!
Have a great weekend. Have a great day.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hey, Marjorie, it's Roz and Mocha. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing great. First of all, thank you very much for your submission to Roz and Mocha's family reunion.
Thank you for having it.
Just want to go over your story here with you for a sec. So you wrote us this. I would love for Roz and Mocha to fly me to Vancouver Island so that I can see my son and meet his children and his wife. My son was born in 1988 in Courtenay, BC. A family friend adopted him and raised him. The last time I saw him was on his first birthday. We lost touch over the years, but I was able to track him down just after his 19th birthday. It would do my heart so good to be able to see my son and meet his family. So go through the story here. So he was born in 88. What led to you leaving and a family friend adopting him?
I was very young. I was 15 at the time.
You were 15.
Had just moved from New Brunswick to British Columbia to the island to live with my mom.
Yeah.
She was in the military, and it just wasn't a good time for me to raise a baby. And we had a family friend at the time. Her name was Kat. She couldn't have children, but she had a beautiful heart, and she was willing to adopt Brendan and raise him as her own. And she did. But unfortunately, 18, moved to Ontario, just life, you know?
Yeah.
Didn't really think about anything, and life happens. And I reached out every year on his birthday, tried to look for him, couldn't find him. But once he hit 19, he then had an internet or an online presence.
Right.
And I was able to track him down.
So over the years, when you weren't in his life, do you know if he had asked his adopted mother, Kat, about you or what happened to my mom type of thing?
He did.
Yeah.
He asked some questions, but like Kat said, you know, this is the story. this is who they are, or I am. And, you know, when you're 19, then you can pursue whatever you want.
Right. Does he want to meet you?
He does.
He does. What are those conversations like?
They've been hit and miss over the years. There's been a lot that's happened, but he's grown a lot, and I've obviously grown life, and it would be nice. He's got a beautiful family out there. They work hard. It would be nice to be able to see him for once.
But you have said to him, I would love to go out there and meet your family, and he has replied with, that would be amazing, or...
My door is always open.
Your door's always open. So he's willing to sort of build a relationship with you, whatever that may look like.
Yes.
And have you seen like pictures of his kids so you know what they look like? And do they know that you are like your grandma as well?
They do. They do. We just haven't been able to physically connect.
Yeah.
So money and
why not
life.
though? Why not though? Why haven't you, out of all these years, even saving $10 a month, by now you could have bought a ticket?
There's just been a lot of things that have happened. Brendan was the proud father of the little girl, Madison. Unfortunately, when she was 4, she passed away from liver cancer.
Oh, God.
Terrible.
I just lost my mom in October to cancer.
I hear you.
And I have a brother and my father are on the East Coast, so when things happen, I end up going to New Brunswick instead of putting the money aside to go to BC.
I gotcha. Life's tough and things are expensive.
Life.
Wow, this is a really unique situation because... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever heard a story like this before. I've heard a lot of adoption stories, and you hear a lot from people who were young and they had kids. But you know, when something is as simple as his door is always open, he wants to build a relationship with you, whatever that looks like. You want to build a relationship with him, and then the only thing that's holding both of you back from doing that is a plane ticket.
Yeah, sometimes you try, you have the best of intentions, but it just doesn't work out that way.
Well, Marjorie, it's going to work out that way for you right now.
What?
The Roz and Mocha Show and Air Transat want you to reconnect and reunite with your son, who you haven't seen since he was a year old.
Oh, my God.
And his family.
Oh, my God.
We're flying you out to Vancouver.
Really? You have no idea what this means to me. Thank you. I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize.
What are you apologizing
man.
for?
People got to stop
my
apologizing when they get emotional. Just stop that.
Oh, my.
Yeah, be you, Marjorie. If you got tears, let them flow,
so
girl.
Much.
Of course.
Oh, my God. You have no idea what this means today.
We're happy to help. That's why we do this.
Thank you.
That's why we started doing this on this show. That's why Air Transat loves doing this. It's for people like you, families like yours. That's the whole design of Roz and Mocha's Family Reunion. So we are more than happy to fly you out, Marjorie, to Vancouver to reconnect with your boy and his family.
Thank you so much.
Okay?
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Love you lots, Marjorie.
Thank you.
Here we go.
The Roz and Mocha Show
Podcast.
What's going on? What's your name?
Stephanie.
Stephanie, it's Roz and Mocha. We're going to help figure out the situation for you.
Okay, great.
Stephanie just texted and said, hey, I've been listening to you guys for like 6 years now. I'm moving to North Bay, and I have no idea how podcasts even work, but I'm going to learn or buy a car with satellite radio just so I can keep listening, LOL. So, Stephanie, it's totally fine. We're going to get through this together, okay?
Okay.
What kind of device do you have?
iPhone.
You have an iPhone?
iPhone.
Okay, if you do a search on your iPhone for Apple Podcasts, it should automatically be somewhere on your device. They come, the phones automatically...
How do you search your phone?
You know how to search your phone?
No.
Okay, so...
Neither do I.
Okay, so unlock your phone.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then anywhere, like in the middle of the screen, just swipe down.
Okay.
And then you see the search bar at the top?
Yeah. Oh,
Now,
yeah, look at that.
Type in Apple Podcast, and then you'll see the icon there, and it will either be automatically on your phone or we'll give you a link to the App Store to download the app.
Oh, I have it.
Oh, see? Okay. So now, when you're in the actual app, so you have the app open?
Yeah.
Okay, bottom right, hit the button that says search.
Okay.
Now type in Roz space, and then you'll see the second search result. Do you see that there?
I found you.
Okay. So all you now have to do is click on the picture. And then it's all there. And then there's on the right-hand side, top right, you'll see a little like purple circle with 3 little circles, white circles inside that circle.
Yeah.
Okay. Click on that and then just hit subscribe. It should be the first option at the top.
Okay.
Now, on your phone, you'll have access to all like 89 episodes of our podcasts.
Oh, perfect.
Okay? And we release a podcast on Mondays and Fridays. So now that you're subscribed, it should automatically download to your device every Monday, every Friday.
Thank you.
There you go.
So there you go. Wait, Stephanie, so why are you moving to North Bay?
We bought a house.
Oh, all right, cool. Easy enough. Well, congratulations on the move.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Roz and Mocha Show. Happy now that you're able to continue listening via the podcast. And between Roz and Mocha, who's your favorite?
Roz.
Oh, figures the person who doesn't know how to work a podcast likes me best.
Thank you, Stephanie. Love you lots.
Thank you guys for calling me. Bye.
Here we go.
The Roz and Mocha Show.
Podcast.
Hey, it's Roz and Mocha. Who's this?
Hey, Roz Mocha. This is Avery.
Avery, how are you?
Pretty good, and you?
Good, man. What's going on?
Just getting ready for work. Headed up to Thornbury this morning to do some cabinet installing.
You're going to Thornbury to do some cabinet installing?
Yeah, I work with my dad. We do kitchen installing.
Oh, nice. Kitchens are expensive, huh?
Oh, very.
Like, do you guys do custom? Do you do custom stuff, or are you installing IKEA/Home Depot cabinets?
You know what? We'll kind of get whatever pays good enough, but we do a lot of big custom homes.
What's the most you've seen somebody spend on a kitchen?
I don't really know what the prices are, but we work in some very expensive big houses where it's like 18 rooms of cabinetry and like a month.
Oh, wow. Anybody famous that we would know?
No, we worked pretty close to Drake's house once, but that was about it.
Oh, even still, in the bridal path? That's an expensive part of Toronto, man.
Yeah.
Hey, did you meet anyone that was working on Drake's house?
No, we drove up there and there's security in his driveway and everything. You couldn't even get close to it. So.
Oh, you couldn't even talk to any other trades, huh?
No.
And they all signed NDAs anyway. So.
Pretty high security.
Yeah. Cool, man. What's going on? What do you want to say?
I was just going to say, we listen to the show every morning. We moved here from Manitoba a couple of years ago. And we actually lose service to the station about 20 minutes into our drive north every morning. So we had a Bluetooth speaker we were putting on our dashboard to tune into the radio.
Oh, nice.
Wow, bro.
Wow, that is dedication.
Weekend, I finally switched out our truck stereo, so we have Bluetooth in there now, so we don't have to use the speaker anymore. It's good.
Nice.
Wow, dude. That's incredible.
Good to listen to you guys.
That's so awesome. It's so awesome.
What made you leave Manitoba?
Well, he moved here. My dad and my stepmom moved here 3 years ago, and they came here just to get more consistent work because we were doing kitchens out there too.
Yeah.
And then out here, there's just endless amounts of work, so I came up here and joined them again to do kitchen installing again.
Oh, nice.
Our show's not on in Manitoba, right?
It is
good,
not.
because Manitoba's awful.
No.
I wanted to say
Damn.
that.
Ouch. So how did you discover the Roz and Mocha Show?
When I moved here, he was listening to you guys. He
nice.
found you randomly on the radio and then told me about you, and I liked it a lot, and we both listen every day.
Oh, okay, perfect. And between Roz and Mocha, who's your favorite?
I gotta say Roz.
Oh, all right.
Mocha hasn't had a good run in a while lately.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've been getting a lot of wins. Mocha's taking a lot of L's, and every time he asks now, he's always like, he's got one eye closed, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Like, should I be asking this question right now? I may actually now have to move to Manitoba.
You would not like it.
Hey, Avery, we appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for listening and for calling in.
Yeah, you bet, guys. Have a good one.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
I started watching The Boys last night on Amazon.
That sounds so weird, dude.
So let me tell you, first of all, this is one of the worst titles for an amazing show,
The Boys,
that I've ever seen. Like, the title is so wickedly dumb.
I think I've seen ads
for what the show is.
This show popping up.
This show is dope, man. Okay,
online. What's it about again?
I watched the first 2 episodes last night. Okay, so imagine the Avengers.
Yeah.
It's a superhero show.
Okay, so this is what I've seen the ads for.
Yeah. Okay, so imagine the Avengers, only they're called, I think, the 7, right?
Okay.
7 superheroes, right? Just like in the world of Avengers, they just exist. People know who they are. They cheer them, everything else. But only the 7, the superheroes, work for this giant sort of corporation that manages them, and then they take pitches from cities. So Milwaukee will go to the person who runs a 7 and they're like, man, crime's really up. We need a superhero. And they're like, $300 million. He'll come and be your superhero in your city
and kill all the bad guys.
Yeah, and he's like, I don't have 300, and they're like, well, we got Atlanta, is willing to pay like 350, right? So that kind of thing.
Wow.
But
business.
But all the superheroes are completely and utterly corrupted by fame and money. So their only motivation is to get paid. So when they do things, they all then reconvene, and instead of talking about the crimes that they stopped, they talk about how people are pirating the DVDs of their new movie and how they're losing money on it and their brand is failing.
Hold on, so Hollywood.
Okay, right? So they're the corrupt individuals, but the face of them in the public is everybody loves them, but behind the scenes, they're awful people.
Really?
Right?
Wow.
Yeah. They're terrible.
Who did this show?
Like sexual harassers and they'll kill people to make sure that their name doesn't get tarnished. Like they're awful people. And then so it's about
is it like Extreme Suicide Squad?
No, because nobody knows they're bad. Like nobody knows this.
Oh, sorry. So everybody thinks that they're like, oh my God, they're heroes. Yeah.
Yes, they're
helping the
superheroes.
world.
Oh my God, they go to children's hospitals and they go to this and they do all this stuff.
Behind the scenes,
but behind the scenes, they're all motivated.
Despicable.
They're all motivated by money. They're all completely corrupt jerks, right? And so then it's this group of people who are regular civilians that try and take them down.
Oh, God.
Right? And so one thing that they get into, which is really interesting, the sort of main catalyst, the main dramatic plot point for the whole thing getting started is collateral damage. Because in the superhero movies, and they touched on it a little bit in Batman versus Superman, which is why Batman hated Superman so much, was because he destroyed the city, right? But they get into collateral damage. So when you see these movies where like people are fighting the space monster and it's like jumping through buildings and everything else, and you're watching that movie and you're like, people are working in that building.
Yeah.
Like, there's like 400 people that just died while Iron Man was trying to, he shot through that
and
building.
who's going to pay for all that?
So the main plot point of what gets this whole story going in The Boys is somebody who is collateral damage. Is what winds up happening, right? And everybody just sort of looks at it as, well, that's the price you pay for having a superhero protect the world. So they all just sort of look past it, except for one guy.
How many episodes?
It's a full season. It's on Amazon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
So
and it's all shot in Toronto.
Okay. Is it really?
Yeah.
Stupid question.
Yeah.
Because we have an Amazon Prime account.
Yes.
How do I get my Amazon Prime TV shows?
Look
because
at you.
We've tried signing in.
Yeah.
And for some reason, like with the password that we use all the time to log into Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
To our account.
I just literally, honestly, I go to Amazon Prime Video.
Yeah.
And you go to the login page. And
you just log in?
And what shows up is all their videos.
Yeah.
And then you hit sign in and you use your Amazon login and password. And then Bob's your uncle. I'm telling you, got to get on this show. It's really cool. Yeah, it's a stupid name for a show. Like, it's the worst name for a show that is this cool.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Titles matter.
Yeah.
Because I've been seeing ads pop up online for this show, but the ads, I guess the credit to the producers or whoever put the trailer together, didn't really give that much away. But then I saw the title and it's The Boys, and I'm like, nah.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
I know. It's not like, oh, and their big Superman sort of guy, like their big number
like the
one
leader,
hero, the leader.
Uh-huh.
First of all, his cape is the American flag.
Of course it is.
And his name is Homelander.
Here we go.
The Roz and Mocha Show
podcast.
LT Adam speaking.
Yo, it's Roz and Mocha.
Oh, how's it going?
Okay.
Oh, God, here we go.
What's your name?
Oh, my God, Adam. How's it going?
Hi, Adam. Where do you live? Your area code that you texted in is from, it says 613. Where is that?
Yeah, I live in Ottawa.
Oh, okay. So you listen to the Roz and Mocha Show on, what is it, Kiss 105.3?
Well, I actually, sometimes I stream it from my phone, if I want to do live, but, I'm trying to catch up on the podcast right now.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Here's a text, and the reason why I'm calling you Adam. Adam's very nervous right now.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It simply reads, Roz is better than Mocha. Change my mind.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yes.
So, do you want to explain?
Well, I mean, listen, the obvious answer is like Roz is like a smooth, cool dude, right?
Oh, shut
but,
yeah.
But I just like, I don't know, like I used to listen to the Howard Stern show, and Roz kind of has like a Howard Sternness to him, and I really like that. I'm really drawn to that. So, yeah, he's awesome.
Like old and crotchety?
No,
I like Howard.
honest, blunt, but at the same time graceful.
Yeah.
graceful.
I interned on that show, huh?
Did you actually?
Yeah, I did. In the early 90s.
Wow, that was a long time ago. Holy crap.
Long. It was before it was after the book, before the movie. So when I was there, what mainly my job was to work with his assistant on getting everything ready for the paperback version of Private Parts. So that was pretty much how I spent my internship.
In the movie, is there a character working on the Howard Stern show that represents you?
No, because the movie is based on the book.
Oh, okay.
Right?
All right.
But it's funny because if you know that show, every now and then, like when you go in as an intern, you sort of want to be, that you want them to like goof on you and put you on air and everything else. But I went in, and if you're a big fan of the show, so I started my internship the same day that Gay Rich started his internship, and Gay Rich became a superstar on that show. Was there for like years, right? So as soon as there was like 4 of us that were interning during that semester, and as soon as we went in and we saw Gay Rich, we're like, we're not getting on the show. and then he was there forever. That was a long time ago.
That's amazing. No, and Roz, I just have one thing. Like, I know you love this so much, but because you love when people tell like how long they've been listening to the show for, and like,
love it.
So you know, I started listening to the show when I was in high school, and I've moved out to Ottawa. I have a mortgage, and I have a long-time serious girlfriend. So that just gives you an idea.
That
is amazing.
Oh, God. You know what's funny is that you can write something like Roz is better than Mocha, change my mind, and text it to us. But you see that stuff all the time on Twitter. And on Twitter...
Not really.
And on Twitter, you don't have to... No, comments like that.
Oh, I thought you meant that specific comment.
No,
Roz is better than Mocha.
But the great thing is that on Twitter, you can just send that out there, and maybe the worst thing that happens is somebody replies to it.
Sure.
But when people have that same mentality and they text it to us, as soon as you hit send, Mocha's dialing your number, and then you have to answer for it.
That scared the crap out of me.
Yes.
Like, I'm about to walk onto a job site, and this is what I get.
Adam, listen, all the best to you in Ottawa. Thank you for listening to the Roz and Mocha Show. Thank you for listening to our podcast, and thank you for your dedication all these years and for your text this morning.
Thank you guys so much. Love you guys.
Here we go.
The Roz and Mocha Show
Podcast.
Hello.
Happy birthday, Chelsea! It's Roz and Mocha!
Thank you.
What's going on? How are you today?
Good, just waking up.
Oh, okay. Roz, you'll be happy to know that Chelsea has been listening to the Roz and Mocha Show for the entire 10 years that we've been on the radio. Today, Chelsea is celebrating her 23rd birthday.
Oh, man. So you were 13 when we started this?
Yeah, I was just going into high school.
Oh.
So you did high school with the Roz and Mocha Show. College or university? Did you do post-secondary education?
Yeah, I graduated from college last year.
Oh, damn. And now, grown up, living in the real world, what's your life like now?
My boyfriend and I live together in Georgetown.
Yeah.
And I work at the YMCA.
Man, life, I tell you.
That's crazy,
it goes
huh?
Too fast. It goes too
I
fast.
know.
What do you remember about the Roz and Mocha Show from like when you were 13 years old? Because the show was like way, way different back then than it is right now.
Oh, God. I just remember listening to you guys on my way to school with my mom in the car.
Yeah. Awkward.
Yeah. All the time.
That is awesome. That's awesome. How long have you been with this guy?
The last almost 2.5 years.
Yeah. How old is he? Is he older than you?
He's a month older. He's 23.
Oh, okay. So not that bad. I don't know what it is. Whenever I talk to people who started listening to the show when they were kids and now they're grown, I have like extra interest in their life. Like it's almost like a parental thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm just about to start asking you about your taxes.
Oh, God.
Are you financially responsible, Chelsea?
Yeah.
I mean a bit.
I know, but because we've doled out some really good advice over the years on this show, and I just need to know that people listened.
Oh, I listen. I listen to your podcast every day.
Oh, okay. So what have you learned from the Roz and Mocha show in listening for now 10 years?
Oh, God. That Maury can't write commencement speeches.
Yeah? Anything else?
True. Maury not being able to write, you would have figured out in the first 2 months.
It's
yeah.
so true.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm nervous.
Don't be. Why are you so nervous?
Is there anything in the past 10 years, Chelsea, of listening to the Roz and Mocha show that sticks out in your mind? Any particular moment?
Now he's laughing at me because I'm nervous.
Who, your boyfriend?
Yeah, he just got home from work.
What's his name?
Jake.
Jake. Put Jake on the phone.
He's on speaker.
Jake. Hello. Jake, stop making the woman nervous, man. We're trying to have a conversation with her.
I'm not doing anything.
Go to the bathroom or the kitchen and make her a tea or something, man. Do your job.
All right.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right.
So the answer, Chelsea, is this moment right now.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. She's on the phone. Don't you know when your woman's on the phone, your only job is to just go and put the kettle on for her?
Learn that now.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Jeez, man.
Chelsea, we love you lots. Happy birthday. Thank you for your dedication for the past 10 years to the Roz and Mocha show. And before we let you go, between Roz and Mocha, who's your favorite?
Roz.
Oh, wow. That was quick.
Damn.
Jeez.
That's what she said. Happy birthday, Chelsea!
Thank you.
Here we go.
The Roz and Mocha Show
Podcast.
Hey, Mocha.
Yes.
Are you ready for the podcast?
Uh-huh.
Let's do the news!
A Roz and Mocha Show and Kiss 92.5 News Break.
So Hannah last night, so you tell me if I get this wrong, okay? So
in the words of Chris Harrison, it was the most dramatic season finale in the history of Bachelorette.
So Jed wound up being the ultimate winner. His proposal had people in tears.
Yeah.
Then after the final rose, and then what transpired after that was information about Jed and his life before going into the show. And it's the classic sort of bachelorette story where he had a girlfriend, allegedly.
Although he said to her during their private conversation, private, cameras everywhere, that they weren't officially dating.
Okay.
It was a girl he was hooking up with, but it also came out in the conversation that at the time he was also hooking up with other women.
Right, but who cares?
And then
That's
during
all
a
before
drunken
he
night,
went on the show, though, right?
He told this girl that he loved her and he regretted that decision, and she was just like...
But this all happened, but am I wrong? And this all happened before he did the show?
It happened before he did the show.
So who cares?
She obviously
Oh,
cares.
stop it. What do you want? Do we all want virgins? Is that the thing?
Apparently.
You can't have a history now. You can't you can't have had a girlfriend or a boyfriend right before you go on the show.
She was pissed that he was going around saying that he had won, quote unquote, won the Bachelorette.
But he did.
And not that...
Oh, not that I fell in love and I got engaged
to the
I'm
woman
happy.
who I love.
Yeah, okay, cool. I got you. All right, so what are you going to play for me?
Oh, this is after the final rose, after when they bring them out on stage in front of the live studio audience.
Okay. Oh, no.
And they're face to face.
Oh, no.
And Hannah says this to Jed.
I don't love you like that anymore. And I'm not, and it's not something to clap about. It's sad.
Sorry.
I know you've hurt me, but I'm not trying to hurt you right now. But it's just not what either anybody needs to start a relationship on. Lies and not feel confident in that. And I just want to feel really confident with my forever.
Can I also just say the fact that nobody on the show, not even Jed, brought up the fact that when going through the process, she hooked up with a dude at the windmill, in the windmill, 4 times?
Not allowed to talk about that, though. That's shaming. He can't have a girlfriend, but during the process, she can have many. It's a whole thing. This is why Kelly Ripa hates this show. I love it, on the other hand. And then I guess what? So Tyler was the runner-up, and then they're now going out for a drink? They're going to take things slow?
They still have feelings for each other, and then she said to him after the final rose, hey, I would like to take this slow. How about we go catch up. Let's go hang out. Let's grab a coffee, grab a drink, whatever.
And then what did she say to Jimmy Kimmel afterwards?
And so tonight we saw you said maybe we can go out for a drink or something.
Mhm.
Did you have a drink on your way over here?
I didn't have quite enough time to even order one from the bartenders.
Right.
So
When is the
maybe
drink
later.
going to happen?
Lisa Marie Presley says that she's about to drop a bombshell book on both Elvis, her dad, and Michael Jackson, who she was married to. During all of this stuff in the last couple of years, Lisa Marie has been silent.
Completely
and
silent.
People haven't really sought out her opinion because she was married to Jackson between 94 and 96.
Do you think people just forgot that she got married?
No, I don't. I don't know. So according to Page Six, Lisa Marie sold her book for between $3 and $4 million, and quote promises shocking revelations about Michael Jackson and a completely new understanding of Elvis. So wait for that.
She got snitch on her pops?
Right?
That's the most savage move in history.
Here we go.
The Roz and Mocha Show
podcast.
So what's this bull roar? Don't get me wrong, I'm all for it. But I'm gonna pitch it as bull roar that people can now be charged $1,000 for eating and driving.
Hold on, what?
Yeah, I tell you, my girlfriend Catherine's gonna have to get another job. Pay all those fines.
Wait. Where is this happening?
So it says Canadians can now be fined $1,000 for eating and driving. Where's this from, Maury?
The story I read was from the Toronto Star.
Okay.
But I also sent you an article where it says that part of it's not true.
Right. No, but where's that from?
Oh, that I have no idea.
Oh, can you go find that, please?
Yeah.
So they say here, what's true? Canadian authorities may use their discretion to ticket motorists who are eating while driving if they deem those motorists are unable to operate their vehicles safely. What's false is that the new distracted driving law applies only in the province of Ontario and is geared towards distracted driving caused by handheld devices and not by eating.
Okay. So, what if I'm driving down the street and I'm eating a handful of Skittles?
Right.
Is that distracted driving?
No, I think that is where you fall into under the discretion of whoever pulled you over.
If I'm driving and I'm eating a hamburger, hand on one wheel, the other hand.
It's tough,
hamburger.
man. It's tough.
Because that could be distracting because the sauce from the burger could drip and then your eyes will be no longer on the road.
So they say eating while driving is not a specific part of the law, although motorists can still be ticketed if the act of eating impairs their driving. The government pointed out, you are allowed to use hands-free wireless communication device with an earpiece.
Yeah.
Or Bluetooth.
Yeah.
You can view your GPS display screens as long as they are built into your vehicle's dashboard or are securely mounted on your dashboard. Other actions such as eating, drinking, grooming, smoking, reading, and reaching for objects are not part of Ontario's distracted driving law. However, you can still be charged with careless or dangerous driving. So
What about drinking coffee?
That's part of this. So
Yeah.
if you're if you got elbows on wheel and you're two-handing a coffee for some reason, I don't know.
Extra large cup.
Yeah, I don't know.
Super hot too.
Then it's not part of the distracted driving charge, but this would be a careless or dangerous driving charge. So like when Catherine stops at Swiss Chalet on the highway and gets the full chicken quarter meal with fries and sauce and chicken on the bone, and she goes at it with the fork and knife while driving.
Holy snitch.
What? She's not in town. She's in Vancouver for the week.
Our show's in Vancouver.
Our what?
Our show's in Vancouver.
Right. Catherine has never eaten while driving before.
You just rolled over. You just snitched so quick on your own girl. Damn.
Listen, man, if
Ruthless.
I wind up with the job. We have so much more news to do. Never mind about this.
Do you want to know where I got that from?
Yeah.
Snoops.com.
Okay. Snoops? What is that? Why are you giving me something from Snoops?
Like Snoop Dogg's website?
No, it's like news, Snoop in the news.
No, it's not.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
As of the new year, plastic grocery bags will be gone from Sobeys.
Oh, nice.
They announced today that it will remove them from all of its stores by January 2020. It claims that the change will take 225 million plastic bags out of circulation in Canada every single year. And starting next month, they say that it will be selling reusable mesh produce bags made from recycled water bottles.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Because we have, and I'm sure a lot of people have this problem as well, where you have a lot of grocery store plastic bags that you've kept.
Yes.
What do I do with them? Like, we've been trying to figure out, like, do we throw them in the trash? You can't recycle them.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Because we're trying to, in our house, trying to get into the habit of using the reusable ones, right? We bought like a whole bunch from the different grocery stores we go to.
Yeah.
But what do we do with the plastic bags?
Can't you recycle them? I think you can. Can you not? I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. I mean,
under the kitchen sink, I have one giant bag. Inside of that plastic bag, I know. Are other grocery store plastic bags. I don't know what to do.
I got a bag. You got bags on bags. It's tough. I don't know. I try and reuse them as many times as I can. Not like that matters, but like I will, if I've needed a drop cloth before for something and I didn't have a drop cloth. So I went into the pantry, got out the bag of bags we have, and I sat there and I cut 20 of them into big giant rectangles and I taped them all together.
Oh boy, that's a lot of time.
And I use that as a drop cloth. Like I try and reuse stuff, and I'm not the best at it, but you try, and I'm all fine with this. What I'm not fine with is when I go to a grocery store, because I will buy as many of those dollar sort of reusable bags. Sure. I have hundreds of them because I use them for everything. Yeah. They're great for everything. I have them at the cottage. I put dirt in it and bring dirt up to the garden. Like I use them for everything because they're really hardy. But yeah, it's tough. I don't know what to do with all the plastic bags. You start to feel bad. And
all these texts coming in, 925-555. Somebody said they are recyclable. Somebody else said bundle all your plastic bags together and put them in your paper tote for recycling. Yeah. Somebody else said you can totally recycle plastic bags.
Okay, well there you go. But I usually when I have a plastic bag in my house from groceries, it gets used 3 times before I'll use it for something. Yeah. Right? I don't even know. I'll just figure out something.
Oh, here's a good one. I'll end on this, okay? Depending on your city, you're allowed to recycle them. Check with your municipality.
Okay, well, there you go.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
So last night during the Democratic debate, I think this was it was the second night of 2. There's like 20 people, and they have to break it up into 2 nights because there's so many people that want to be president. The big winners of the night, though, were Kool-Aid and Clorox. So, Kristen Gillibrand, who's running for president, was talking about climate change and what she would do if she was president. And she sort of laid out her plan, and this is what she says would be her first job as president.
So the first thing that I'm going to do when I'm president is I'm going to Clorox the Oval Office. The second thing I'm going to do...
Oh, with a clap back. With a clap back. Come on, Kristen.
And so that's the shout out to Clorox. Now let's get to the shout out to Kool-Aid. This was an exchange between Joe Biden and Cory Booker discussing criminal justice records.
Tolerance policy of stop and frisk, and hired Rudy Giuliani's guy in 2007 when I was trying to get rid of the crack cocaine.
Mr. Vice President, there's a saying in my community, you're dipping into the Kool-Aid and you don't even know the flavor.
I don't know. Is that even a saying? Is that a saying? I never heard that before.
I never heard it either.
Is that like an actual thing? I don't know if that's an actual saying.
Dipping into the Kool-Aid, you don't even know the flavor.
Like, what does that mean? Like that, like...
I don't know, man. Kool-Aid's freaking delicious.
No, he's trying to say what, though? Like, what are you trying to say with that? Like, you're getting into something that you don't know anything about?
Yeah.
Or...
Like, what if you don't like the flavor?
You're talking... No, like, what... Jeez, man, I know what he said to the flavor. I get the analogy. I'm asking, what is he trying to say? I understand Kool-Aid and flavor, but I guess he's trying to be like you're talking about things you don't understand, or you're getting
that you don't know about just yet.
Yeah, okay, cool. All right. Man, I never heard that, though. You're dipping into Kool-Aid, you don't know the flavor.
God, I don't want Kool-Aid.
Right? 107-year-old Bronx woman, Louise was born in 1912. This was the year that President William Howard Taft was in office. Woodrow Wilson won the November election. Two more states joined the Union, New Mexico and Arizona.
Oh, wow.
The Titanic hit an iceberg that year and sunk. And she turned...
There's room on that door for Jack, by the way.
She turned 107. What do you think? Because I always love this. They always go to these birthday parties.
Yeah.
And they ask them what the secret to living to 107 is. What do you think she says? What's her secret?
Oh, God. It's going to be something ridiculous like
She has a long list of things, but then there's one main thing.
Like she smokes a pack of cigarettes a day or something.
Okay, something like that?
Yeah, something like ridiculous that you wouldn't think that a 107-year-old would live to that age by smoking a pack of cigarettes a day.
Okay, here we go.
If they had exercise, I do the exercise. If they had dancing, I dance. I still do a little dancing. And then after my lunch, I would play bingo. So I had a full day. I think the secret of 107, I never got married.
Oh.
I think that's the secret. Okay. My sister says, I wish I never got married, she says.
That's great. So bingo, dancing,
Yes.
and never getting married.
Yes. Question, how many pythons are there loose in Toronto sewers right now?
Oh.
Because I saw this story where this family from the East End, members of the Sinella family, their python went missing a while ago, and then I guess they found one in a sewer, and then the family were reunited with their python, which was an 11-month-old ball python. And that was the story. And there was all these pictures, and everybody's like, yay, the weird couple found their snake. But then they got it home, and the twist now is the snake that they found in the sewer wasn't actually their snake. It was a different snake.
So their snake is still missing?
So their snake is still missing.
How many more snakes are there under the ground?
Yeah.
In the sewers?
Yeah.
Like hundreds?
I don't know. How many pythons are loose in the city right now?
Like 50?
I don't know. Maybe. Is that too much? I think that's too much. I think one is too much.
The one that they lost and the one that they found, I think, are too many.
And one of the things that they said was one of the reasons why they're unhappy that it's not their snake is because they were saying that the snake that they just got reunited with, which is not their snake. By the way, their snake was named Monty, as in Python. Monty Python.
I see what you did there.
The snake that they picked up, they've named him Sneaky Pete. And their big worry now is that Sneaky Pete is apparently much stronger than Monty was. Why do you have a snake? That's what I don't understand.
Especially a snake that's capable of killing a human being.
Thank you. I get your attachment to animals, and I get why somebody would want a pet. And I all this stuff, I really, really do. I will never, and you can never convince me why you would want to own a snake. Never.
Hey, question.
Never.
Does it say in the article where in the East End? I'm going to assume Oshawa. It sounds like a very Oshawa thing to do. Shout out to Oshawa, by the way. But it sounds like a very Oshawa thing for a family to own a python or a snake.
Wow, you're really calling out Oshawa this morning, huh?
I love Oshawa, okay?
Do you,
I'm just saying.
Yeah?
It sounds like a very Oshawa. Or, okay, fine. Maybe Whitby.
I was listening to a conversation last week with two women who were from Durham, and the conversation they were having was everybody's dated a Southie, and they were having a conversation between them on at what point in their life they dated a Southie, and I guess a Southie is somebody from South Oshawa because there's like a real stigma attached to that, and they were just talking back and forth. Like, what was your Southie's name? And they were like, Chad. What was your Southie's name? You know what I mean?
Chad.
Also Chad.
Here we go.
The Roz and Mocha Show
Podcast.
Apparently, Tom Cruise is, quote, not allowed to have a relationship with his daughter, Suri. This is according to Us Weekly. So in 2000, God, when did Katie Holmes get divorced. I think it was like 2012. And apparently Tom Cruise has not seen Surrey since 2012.
Really?
Yeah, because the way that the Scientology, the church works is that normally you have to disassociate with anybody who is not a part of the church, who's a member of your family.
Yeah.
But I think that there are rules that would allow Tom Cruise to be able to see Surrey, but that's whether Katie Holmes allows him to or not. I don't know. But they're also hinting at the idea that this may be Tom Cruise is doing, that he's actually not wanting to see her. So he apparently has no relationship with Surrey, but he does have a relationship with his two other kids. One is 26, one is 24. Both of those kids are part of they're in the Church of Scientology. Maury?
August 20th, 2012.
2012. Yeah, it was 2012. That's a long time ago. I remember that. Like, it was super, like, not nearly that long ago.
Wow.
When she got out of there.
You've got questions, we've got answers on the Roz and Mocha Show.
All right, time to get into Ask Roz and Mocha. These are the questions that we take from Instagram that you've asked us at Kiss925, and we'll have one of you join us to ask your question. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, let me read you a couple of reviews that we got from Apple Podcasts. And again, feel free to log on. And if you haven't left a review, you can leave one right now along with a rating, because we're going to read more and more of these as the weeks go by. Francesca writes, I'm up all night studying. It's my last year of university, and it gets really sad and isolating at times. I play you guys in the background, and I immediately feel better. Your friendship and ways of conversing with each other is so uplifting. So thank you very much for that, Francesca. She also dropped 5 stars. Juvie Nina Vergara writes this: you guys are my stress reliever, and whenever I'm sad or I feel bad, I just get my phone and I listen to your podcast. It cheers me up, makes me feel happy again. Thank you guys so much. And then also gave us 5 stars. Breath of Fresh Air is the title of this next one from Taylor Johnston. Hey, Roz and Mocha, you guys are incredible. I love the purity in the show. You are all simple, normal individuals living separate lives. However, you always seem to keep the positivity in daily life, which is sometimes something that is often lacking in today's society. Keep it up. Love, Taylor. So thank you for that, Taylor. And one more here from Jason H009. Bloody fantastic is the subject. 5 stars again. Such a fantastic podcast. Super addicted. I listen to reruns at work while I wait for Mondays and Fridays to roll around. Well done, guys. So, Jason, thank you very much for that review. All right.
There you go.
Mark, you there?
Yes.
All right, dude. What's your question for Ask Roz and Mocha?
Okay, so if you were transported 400 years into the past with no clothes or anything else, how would you prove that you were from the future?
Ooh. Oh, my God.
Okay, so I'll tell you why this is tricky. If you had said that you were able to time travel back to 1950, and no clothes, no tech, no nothing, how could you prove that you were from the future? You could do that very easily by going to people who are academics, who gaining their trust and then predicting really substantial future events. The problem with being transported back to 400 years ago, so what we're talking like 1619, is that you have to have knowledge of what's coming next.
Yeah.
Like in 1619, I think that they were just bringing slaves to what would be America at that point. Like,
you can't go up to someone completely naked, being like, I'm from the future. You guys aren't allowed to do this.
Yeah.
Here's why.
Because there's just no knowledge of that stuff. So how would you prove? Jeez, man.
Is there a right or wrong answer?
No, like how? So you're back, Maury. You're back 400 years ago. Okay, 1619. You're from the future. You land there. Presumably you can't show anybody like your time machine either, right? Like it's just like poof, you're in a field naked from the future.
Yep, naked.
Okay, first of all, you're probably going to get shot by an arrow. Okay, so what would you do, Maury? How would you prove that you're from the future?
You could say, hey, these are some of the things that will be played in the future, and show them basketball. Like,
but how does that prove? But how does that prove?
You could put someone's laundry basket up in the air.
But how does that prove you from the future, and you're not just some guy that created a game there?
But if I have more than one, I can't create basketball, baseball,
Why
hockey.
not? Why not?
So you're going to introduce people 400 years ago to sports?
That won't be then invented forever? Basically, all you will do, Maury, is you at that point will just change the course of history, and sports and basketball would then have been invented.
By you.
All by me.
All by you. Like, that's not proving you're from the future.
Okay.
Like, how do you prove 400 years ago that you're a time traveler from the future?
That's
Mocha?
a great. You know what? I don't have an answer
Because my knowledge of...
exactly what you said. You would have to have knowledge of stuff from the 1600s progressing a little bit into what the lifespan of those people that you're speaking to would live.
But can you say there will be this thing called a light bulb? A guy named Thomas Edison will create it.
Yeah, but more. When was the light bulb
Carly Rae
created?
Jepsen's a singer. She will sing a song that sounds like
But
this.
these people-
That's unprovable things 400 years ago.
They won't know about any of this stuff because they won't be alive. It has to be something from that era, from that timeline.
How do you walk up to somebody in 1619 and convince them that you're from the future?
But I'm not, I mean, why would I give Thomas Edison credit to something that I could take credit for then? So then this guy must be spilling the truth because why would he give the credit away to someone else?
Hold on here. This is really interesting. Do you have an answer for this, Mocha?
I don't. I need to do some research. Mark, what's your answer? How would you prove to somebody from 400 years ago that you were from the future, and if you just showed up there just buck-ass naked?
I don't know. I don't know if it'd be hard to predict future events. But I don't know what would be next happening, you know?
So,
but your question said you have no clothes, but can you hide something up your butt?
No. Presumably, Maury, nothing. You have nothing.
Okay, I'm just trying to find loopholes.
So here's the thing, Maury. So even with Maury's light bulb theory, okay, this is where your lack of knowledge in history and timelines comes into play. So Maury, if you went back to 1619 and said that somebody named Thomas Edison was going to create the light bulb, okay, those people would have to wait over 200 years for that to be verified. So you will not be able to convince somebody in 1619.
So you need to figure out something that's going to happen 5 years from that.
Right. But so you would not be able to do it. I would not be able to do it simply because my knowledge of the world in 1619 is like zero.
Hey, hang on. In 17-something, the Hudson's Bay Company was created. Maybe we could tell them about that.
Okay.
It's a little bit closer.
But you're still 100 years, though.
Yeah,
And I could show them, my Bay points.
I'm just looking up kind of historical moments from the 1600s.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, for example, if we showed up in the year 1619,
yes,
we could then say to them, hey, in the year 1643, there's this thing that's going to be created and built, and it's going to look amazing, better than anything that you've ever experienced in your life right now, and it's called the Taj Mahal, because that was completed in the year 1643.
But then you saying that might change the course of history because the guy that's going to build the Taj Mahal might say, I don't want to do it anymore. You already said it.
Or you could say in the year 1642, there's going to be a civil war.
But then you could stop the war.
Or they might think you're responsible for it.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's
very tough.
Like you almost need to have the knowledge of where, I'm trying to think here, what did they have? They had copper. They had I'm trying to think what you really need is the knowledge of being able to go back and create a battery. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To make something like that.
Out of something that they have at that time readily available.
Yes, things that they all had at that time, but there's no knowledge of that.
Yeah. But then they're just going to give you credit for it.
Right, but then you could say, this is future technology, let me show you what I'm doing, and then you could sort of give them that example, and then you could sort of bring them through the timeline of how that one piece of technology or invention sort of goes out through the course of history. You could do that where smart people, academics at that time, may believe you. Idiots would think that you are a witch. Yeah. But you may convince academics that that's the case. But other than that, I think you're screwed. Other than that, I don't know what somebody who is not an engineer could use to convince somebody.
You would just have to have vast
1619.
knowledge of that era and what they had access to, what they used a lot, or what they were trying to figure out at the time.
Yeah, you couldn't even go back then and say, you stop it right now with the slavery because it's going to lead to just absolute disaster and generations of heartache, and it will change the course of everything, and nobody will be proud of this. It would just kill you.
Yeah, for sure.
right? Like
'Cause
you
they don't
can't,
know any
like you
better.
can't go down and start spitting moral knowledge on people because
hell
they'll
no.
just and my medical knowledge is very limited. Like I can't then say to somebody, you know, what an antibiotic is. I can't then say to somebody what a filling is for a tooth. Like you would just be looked at as some sort of genius of the time who is inventing this stuff as you go. But like, how do you prove that you're from the future? I don't know if this is an answerable question.
No, I don't know. Stupid question, Mark. Damn it.
Thanks.
I'm just kidding. We appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much, man.
All right, thanks.
Right
Later,
on, man.
dude. See ya.
Oh, that's tough. That's maddening. That when I first read that, I was like, oh, this is going to be easy. Come up with like 9 things immediately. But when you start thinking about it, it's really difficult.
It's only you could bring something with you.
But you can't. That's the whole point, is you can't.
Also, earlier when we were talking to Mark,
Yeah.
Maury said something about sneaking something up his butt.
Yeah, you're going to keister something to the past?
Into the past.
Yeah, but then you could just you could pull it out and say, look, this is something from the
They
future.
would,
What would you? Let me ask. Okay, so let's entertain this here for a second.
Sure.
Okay, so Maury, let's change the question here. Okay, if you could be transported back 400 years ago to the year 1619,
yeah,
and you could put something in your butt to prove to people that you were from the future, what would you keister to 1619?
I think I would put money with a date on it, a baseball card or sports card, a player's card up there, maybe some sort of like a cell phone.
What are you going to do with a cell phone?
Just to show them this is a phone.
But what are you going to do with it?
Or do you need 2 phones so I can hand one to somebody so I can then call you on your phone? Right? So I need money, sports card, and 2 phones.
A sports card?
Yeah, like to say, hey, this is, a player from, and it'll have the date on it, like Babe Ruth or something. Or
They won't know what that is.
Yeah.
Or a photograph of me in the future in front of something fabulous.
What would that fabulous thing be?
Mariah Carey's concert.
Okay, so you would keister a picture of you at Mariah Carey's concert,
money,
and a baseball card, and a coin,
and 2 phones,
and that would be the way. There's nothing else that you can think of to prove your way down there.
Well, something that needs
But
to.
in order to
but it has
use the
to
2
fit.
phones,
like it has something that has to fit.
So you telling me right now that in your butt you can
2 phones,
2 phones,
a coin,
a picture, a coin, and a baseball card?
Yeah, but you put it all in a Ziploc bag, right?
Okay.
Don't look to us for answers.
Like, are we talking like iPhone 6 or iPhone 6 Plus?
No, there's no way a 6 Plus. No way.
Would an Apple Watch fit?
Be real. Yeah, be realistic. You can't. You can't do.
No iPhones. You can't do an iPhone. Come on.
You can't do an iPhone.
Maybe like a Nokia Razr
Yeah, you can't do an iPhone. Yeah, I don't know.
or a
man.
Nokia flip phone.
I don't know. I don't think you could get all that up there though.
And a camera.
I think you need to pare down your
And
list.
a camera.
And a camera.
Well, that way on the SD card, I
Be
can go through
realistic though.
photographs.
More honestly, be realistic. Okay, right now, up your butt, you have a camera, a coin, a baseball card, 2 iPhones, and a picture of you and Mariah Carey.
That's 6
And
things.
that's it. That's it.
6
That's all
things.
you
No,
need.
be realistic. If you could keister something 400 years back from now to prove that you're from the future, what would that thing be?
It would have to be money with the date on it.
Money? You don't think that could be faked then?
No, I don't think people knew how to fake money back then. They didn't have the technology to forge money.
No, you don't think so?
No, not at all.
But you think that that's convincing. I have a piece of paper with a number on it.
What about a newspaper?
A newspaper?
Like a clipping, a
You're gonna-
newspaper clipping.
Okay, I was going to say, you can't roll like, man, like, are we talking like the Tuesday Sun or are we talking like the Sunday Times? Like the Sunday Times is a big paper. It's like 3 pounds.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's what you have. You could put up, if you put up a camera with an SD card on it, and on the SD card could be news footage that you could play them.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So if I just put a camera up my butt.
Yeah, okay, that's cool.
And then that way you could have everything on the SD card.
Right.
And then
okay.
you just play that.
Okay. Now,
But you have to fully charge
Okay,
that.
so let's talk this through. So you start showing your video to people,
Yeah.
right? Eventually that phone is going to run out of batteries.
Right.
Okay. So then what happens when that phone runs out of batteries?
So you also need backup batteries.
So then you have to rely on other people to help convince people that what they saw was actually what they saw. So that's not proof.
Right.
It's not convincing.
Okay, so what would you stick up my butt?
I don't know. I would probably load you up with some sort of like portable charger, right?
Mm-hmm.
like one of those little charger things, and then I would bring something that is specifically future that somebody at that time was working on, which I don't know what it would be, and then I would plug it in and they could sort of watch it go or watch it do its thing.
One of those little projectors. That way you gather all the townsfolk into one area and just project it onto a wall.
Sure. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a maddening question. You got a lot of stuff up that butt, Maury. You got a lot of stuff up that butt. Man, if somebody ever asks me, listen, man, you have to put something up your butt to convince people. My immediate thing would be like, geez, like, I don't even know. I would not be like, okay, I'm going to start off with 2 phones, and then I'm going to, like, you know what I mean?
I know, the answer came a little too easy to Maury.
All right, where are we?
Shannon F. asks, what's something that you are really looking forward to doing with your kid when they are older?
Oh, geez.
Anything specific, Roz?
I think I'm just so looking forward to it all. Like it's weird. I don't have, and I've never had that. Oh no, sorry, I shouldn't say that. I've had little things that I was looking really forward to have happening with me and Rox. One of those things was I was really, really looking forward to the day that we could compete in something together, whether it was a game or whatever, where I could go full on and she would win.
Yeah.
Right. Like I couldn't wait for that day to happen where she could actually legitimately get a victory in some sort of competition, whether it's checkers or chess or a card game or whatever it is, where she could get a legitimate win.
Yeah.
And we're at that point now where she beats me stuff all the time. We're at that point now. And it's incredible. It's incredible because you go so many years with, letting your kid win at things so they build up their confidence and everything else. And then you have to introduce losing.
Sure.
Right. And when you introduce losing into something, because Roxy didn't do losing very well when she first started realizing what losing was. She didn't do it very well. And then we had to convince her. And I had lots of conversations with her where it's winning and losing is not about this one thing. Right? It's not about this one game. It's about gaining the knowledge to eventually be competitive and eventually win. It's never about this, because if you are a complete jerk when you lose, guess what? We're never playing checkers again.
Yeah.
Right? So losing is living. It's part of life, and you will eventually learn the skills to beat me. And now she does. She whoops me at everything. Everything.
I think for us, well, for me at least, I was always looking forward to certain things, and then they eventually happen. So I'm always thinking of the next thing that I'm looking forward to. So, for example, I was always looking forward to Cruz being able to form a sentence and try to communicate. And now he's doing that. And he's trying his very best to articulate. And I can kind of understand now. And when I do understand, it makes him happy, right? Yeah. I was always looking forward to being able to go outside and we could play together.
Yeah.
And it was 4 days ago, I bought a couple of super soakers, right? And it was the very first time, we taught him how to use a super soaker, filled it up with water, and he and I were just chasing each other in the backyard.
Yeah.
And he was just nailing me right in the head.
And didn't get pissed off when he got shot.
No,
right?
not at all. He loved it.
Yeah.
He was totally fine with it.
Yeah.
So things like that I look forward to. I look forward to taking him to things that I remember that I got joy out of that my dad took me to. So my dad would take me to wrestling whenever it came to town, or my dad would take me to a hockey game or a baseball game or anything like that. I kind of look forward to that. There's one thing that my wife and I talked about recently, and this, I've just been thinking about it ever since, right? Which is my dad loves, when I tell you loves, he loves the Harlem Globetrotters. Right?
Super weird.
So when I was a kid, we went a couple of times, right?
Yeah.
And he knows all the jokes because they do the same gags.
They've been doing the same gag for 40 years.
Right?
Yeah.
But he still gets a
bucket of confetti.
Yeah. He loves that one, right? So I can't wait to be able to take Cruz and my dad to a Harlem Globetrotters game, because I know that they're just going to be excited and laugh at the same dumb things.
Yeah, and I'll tell you that what's amazing about that is those are for me anyway, those are the things that you should look forward to. Like, because you can't predict the big things, right? And you can only sort of control the smaller things. And something like taking your old man and your kid to a Harlem Globetrotters game as something, as a goal that you want to do, as like an achievement, a milestone, to me is the best way to live.
Yeah.
Right? It just really is. It's so freeing when those are your expectations. Because that's going to translate to your kid.
Yeah.
You know, like those sort of things, that sort of free mentality of the small little victories that make you happy will make your pops happy, and your kid's going to get a hell of a time out of. There's no pressure in those.
Yeah.
And there's no pressure for anybody in those. And that you pass that on to your kid. It's a great way to live, man.
Oh, man, we got an Avengers question. Nazim asks, if you had the Infinity Gauntlet and there will be no repercussion if used, what would you use it for? So you snap your finger.
Oh.
And that one thing happens.
But don't people die when you do that? Or can it just be anything?
I think it's the way it works is it's whatever you think of in the moment. Like something's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm going to snap my fingers and it's the thing that I'm thinking about that I want to happen.
And you're
I don't know.
And it's only going to happen once.
And it's only going to happen once. So I don't
once.
know if it's like specifically people have to die or something has to die.
Yeah. So, like, can we make our own rules for the Infinity Gauntlet, or do we have to use the Infinity Gauntlet's rules?
I say for this, we should
Make our own rules. Like,
Yeah.
if you could just snap your fingers and make anything happen, what would you make happen?
Yeah.
Right? Okay, good.
Every man on earth is naked.
Oh, wow. But, like, for how long? For a second, and then we all just go get dressed. And then
But what would you do with that, Maury? Like, you're a married man.
Like, what are you just going to start humping people?
No,
Like,
just so
you're
I could see.
Like, you're just going to, just rapist? Like, you're going to run around?
No, like that way I could see everybody. Like
Right?
that way I know what y'all look like.
Like, that's a...
But so what?
But where do you plan on this? Where would you do this? Like, where would you snap your fingers to where all the men in the world would be naked, where you would then get out of it what you hope to get out of it? Like, where are you doing this?
Like, I guess the baseball field,
you'd go to like a pro baseball game and then snap your fingers, and then all the men would just be naked. All the men who go to Blue Jays games.
Okay, I'm going to change my mind on that.
Okay. Yeah. Where would you go?
From I guess basically I would just stand in the financial district, all the men in suits, and then
but that's
boom.
like you're talking like 45 people on a block, and everybody's going to run. And like, what do you get out of that?
So you want to see businessmen without their clothes on?
But do they know? I guess do they know that they're naked for that
Of course,
moment?
you've taken all their clothes off them.
I thought they would just continue walking unaware of what's happening.
So would you also be naked, or would you be the weirdo chasing after naked guys in the financial district? Fully clothed.
God, dude. I don't know.
Pointing at everybody going, I did that. Like, so you would use the Infinity Gauntlet to get arrested.
evil.
No, you would use the Infinity Gauntlet to get yourself arrested and put on the sex offenders registry, right?
All that for a second.
Yeah, Maury would use the Infinity Gauntlet to become a registered sex offender. Is that not the weirdest answer you've ever heard?
Listen, man, you have the internet. If you want to see see come on, bro.
That's the weirdest thing. That is the weirdest thing, man.
What do you think, man?
Well,
Like,
what am
if
I
you were
supposed to
be
use
able
it for
snap your
good?
finger-
Like pay off my mortgage?
No, like if you were you have to understand that you snap your finger, right?
Yeah.
And it's something that happens literally around the world.
But only for a second.
No, not for a second.
Like if I wanted to make it rain money, but can people keep that money?
Sure.
Sure. Yeah, why not? Why not? You get all the naked guys bending over to pick up those small bills. I'm going to get all the men naked, and then I'm going to put money all over the ground. And I'm going to be sitting in a wheelchair. Perfect height. Excuse
like
me.
Maury's
Oh,
ultimate
excuse
strip
me.
club.
Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
What would you do,
excuse me.
Roz? Like if you were to be able to snap your
Yeah.
finger and something would happen
Jeez.
like literally right around the world.
You can't steal my answer.
Damn it.
Not allowed.
Yeah, I don't know because I'm trying to figure out a way to articulate it. Like I would love to say that there would be no more sort of like people wouldn't be suffering from terrible diseases.
Yeah, that's where I was going.
But then you're not ending terrible diseases. You're just curing people in that moment.
And that's not fun.
Right? And then so there would be, as soon as you did that, as soon as you cured...
The disease would still continue.
There would, the second, because of the rate that these things happen, like cancer, for instance, you could say right now, nobody in the world has cancer. But literally, as soon as you say nobody in the world has cancer, there will be another person who is instantly diagnosed with cancer, because that's the way that the numbers work. So it's a very difficult thing. You could save a lot of people, but that's a one-time thing. And then you say, okay, well, what if I do something selfishly? What if I go for just complete monetary gain?
Yeah.
Why not?
Oh, like for that, when you snap your fingers, money doesn't exist. You could just go take all the food for free.
Why don't you just give yourself all the money?
Or that.
Right.
I was just picturing myself going through like grocery stores, taking everything.
No, that's still stealing. What is with you and like your
weird criminal activity?
Snap my finger. Money doesn't exist. I could take all the celery and lettuce and run.
So you would snap your finger just so you could take celery and lettuce?
Dude, celery $7.
Yeah. Wow. Do you have anything, Mocha? Like, I don't know.
See, I was going more along the route of doing something good for the world.
Yeah, but it's tough. It's a tough call, though.
Right? Like to ensure that there were, I don't know, like there was like more than enough food for everybody in the world to survive.
But what does that look like? Like, what is
On the
that?
daily.
Where does
Like,
that
I don't
come
know.
from?
I don't know. Like enough bread?
But you're
Enough
always
grain?
But here's the thing, though, is okay. The problem with that is going that route is there's always going to be corruption. There's always going to be thieves. There's always going to be power. So even if you said, okay, all these people now have food, so you provide a country or a people with more than enough to eat. At that point, that becomes currency. And then the people in power and the corruption is still going to withhold food from them. It's just going to be a larger amount.
So then would I have to snap my fingers and in my mind say, okay, well, I want to be the richest human being in the entire world.
Right.
And then use that money to help the people that need the help.
Right.
Can you snap your fingers and make Trump not president?
No. Why would you do that? There's an election next year. I'm not wasting it on that. They'll figure it out their own selves. They got themselves into that mess.
Also, Maury, don't forget, when you snap your finger, Trump's going to be naked somewhere waiting for you.
Exactly.
It's okay. I'm down in the financial district.
Yeah, jeez. No, I don't know. I'm with you on that, though, that you would like to think that you could do a lot of good, but you'd have to change people as opposed to just giving things, right? Like that's the problem.
All right, B asks, do you have any tricks for falling asleep when you're all kinds of restless? I'm going through a stretch of insomnia right now, and I am not willing to take sleeping pills for it.
Can I just tell you, Ortho Sleep is amazing.
What is Ortho Sleep?
It's not like Sleep Ease or Z-Quil. Ortho Sleep is, I got it from like the health food store. It smells horrible.
What
it
is
smells
it?
like feet.
It's a powder? Is it
No, it's a pill, but like it's all, or like I guess organic things, and it makes you believe that you're falling asleep.
I mean, you can pop a melatonin. Those usually work, and usually get a really good night's sleep out of those. Some people say they work, some people say they don't. But
I find reading, like lying in bed and reading, helps.
Yeah. I don't know. I just always go to bed just from pure exhaustion.
Same.
And then
I can fall asleep in like 2 seconds, man.
And I fall asleep at the same time every night. So I don't really have that sort of insomnia thing. Jeez, I don't know. I don't know what some of the tricks are. I know that
a lot of times when you are feeling insomnia or you are having trouble falling asleep, it's because your mind is racing.
Yeah.
And you're constantly thinking about things that are happening in your life or things that are about to happen in your life, or you're worried about something.
It doesn't sound like you need to worry about the sleep. It sounds like you need to worry about the anxiety.
Well, I was told that if you when you're lying in bed, if you close your eyes and you breathe like you're sleeping,
right,
it'll help you with it'll help you.
What was that one technique where they said close your eyes and count back from 100 by threes?
Oh, wow.
Maury, go.
100. 90,
close your eyes. Close your eyes.
100, 98, 96, 94.
No, by threes.
100.
Yeah.
97, 94, 91, 88, 86, 84, Ooh, I'm falling asleep.
Try again. Try again.
See, this is the problem. Is like counting by threes. It just tires you out.
I think that's what they were trying to prove.
Try by fours. Try by fours.
Okay.
Try counting. Close your eyes.
100, 96, 94, 90.
You went for count by fours.
What was I doing?
You went 96 to 94.
Which is 2.
Which is
That's
2. Yeah.
100, 96, 92, 87, 85, 82. No.
Now you're just spitting random numbers out. I don't know. B, I think you can try a couple of things. There are various apps out there that, like meditation apps.
Yeah, try anything. Try anything at this point.
Stuff that has kind of like a sequence of soft music or sounds, anything like that. Crashing waves or the rain, stuff like that. I think you should try looking up a couple of apps and see if any of those kind of help.
For the longest time, I would put on, like I had a sleep movie. I'd put on the movie Ratatouille and I always fell asleep.
Sure, yeah.
Not that it's a terrible, I love the movie, but it's calming.
But there's not one single person who knows anything about sleep that will recommend falling asleep in front of the TV, though.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
No.
And definitely not, having your phone in front of you type of thing.
No. But yeah, I'm with you. If it's really bothering you, I think you owe it to yourself to just try anything. And going the sort of meditation route, whether it's a relaxation, it doesn't even have to be meditation. There's a bunch of really great apps that are just relaxation, where it's just somebody talking to you and they relax your body and they work. They work.
Yeah.
They work.
Don't do it in the car. I tried it once.
Don't do that in the car.
I know. I was curious, right? So I was driving home from the radio station one day after the show, and I don't know how I found it.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, these relaxation kind of programs that they have out there. Let me just hit play on one and see what it is. Man, it was like 5 minutes in. Bro, I was getting sleepy.
Of course.
Sleepy.
That's what they're supposed to do.
I was so in the relaxed zone. I had to turn that off real quick. I put on Wu-Tang or something. just to amp myself up again.
Yeah.
All right,
sometimes eating a lot helps.
No, that's not a good idea either.
Rather
comfort
unhealthy.
food, like a bowl of mac and cheese.
No, it's not good for you.
Here's a question from Max. Would you rather Maury cook for you for 2 weeks or have Maury sing to you when you wake up and before you go to sleep for 3 months?
Is he in my room singing, or is he just sending me a voice message?
No, I'm going to say in this scenario, he's in your room.
And
yeah.
does he have to stick around while I eat?
No, he's only there for when you wake up and when you fall asleep.
No, but what about for the cooking?
Oh, would you rather have Maury cook for you for 2 weeks? Let's say with this scenario, yes. He's in your kitchen.
I assume he serves you and then he leaves. He being me.
Yeah. So you serve and then leave, or do you sit there and watch me eat?
Well, who's going to clean up? I guess you would, right?
Yeah. What, I got to clean up too?
Yeah. Okay, so there. Okay, here. So Maury's there in your kitchen.
Yeah.
He cooks for you.
Right.
He serves you the food.
Yeah.
And then he sticks around to do cleanup after.
Oh.
But do I get to pick the song I sing?
No, we're talking about food.
Right, but the singing one, do I get to pick the song?
No. Oh, well, I'm definitely saying the food one, because I do not want Maury over my bed when I'm falling asleep or waking up in the morning.
Yeah.
No. Just no.
I was also going to say
debate.
the cooking one.
Absolutely the cooking one. And as awful as Maury's cooking is, I would pinch my nose and force it down.
Yeah.
Or
take a couple of bites and just be like, oh my God, this is so good,
so
but I can't eat anymore. I'm so full, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to get Beachbody ready, Maury. Come on, man. What are you doing with all these carbs? You're the devil.
Ask Roz and Mocha every week. You'll see a picture appear on Instagram at Kiss925 is where you'll find it. That's where you get to ask all of your questions. And one of you will be selected to ask your question to us on a future episode of the podcast. Don't forget, rate, review, and share with your friends the Roz and Mocha Show podcast, because we are starting to read more and more of your reviews on podcast episodes.
Do we have time for one more?
No, we don't. But we will get to this one on the next podcast. Maybe we'll start with this one. It's Patricia Guerrero's question. So we'll save this for next time. If you had a choice to live in your car for 6 months or go to jail for 1 month, which would you choose? So we'll get to that next time on the podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Powered by Air Transat. Catch the guys live weekday mornings from 6 to 10.
Kiss925.com
Or download the Kiss 92.5 app.